First things first, like the video. Got a little goal, whatever, we'll talk about that later. I have discovered something that I wish I didn't. A lot of you all might think that you saw some very annoying, very disturbing things over the course of the past week. You heard things that you didn't want to hear. Maybe you accidentally stumbled into listening to that Monica joint by Jack Harlow. Not great, but we're gonna get there. The thing that bothered me the most is something that I just found out today. What a horrible way to be introduced to an artist. LaRussell. LaRussell, LaRussell, I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. But today, I wanted to get into what happened on Culture United. Because this is run by people I trust, and by people, I mean the one and only Justin Hunt. One of my favorite things to do is cosplay as if I was invited to this thing. Is it LaRussell? LaRussell? We are going to determine by the end of this whether he actually deserves our respect or not. I'm leaning no. But I promise you, we're going to do our due diligence. I believe that they start the conversation and they play the first clip, but he has a response. And when I tell you that his response might actually be worse than the initial video, but we're going to get to it. Before we do anything, shout out the company, man. He's always been cool with me reacting to this as far as I know. Very nice guy. Check his channel out. Check out the Real Culture United. But yeah, this is them talking about it. I believe I have it queued to the right spot. Let's see.
Well, we talked about him over the past couple of weeks. He just announced his deal with Roc Nation. I believe it's a distribution deal more than anything else. But his profile has risen, to a point where he is becoming a mainstream name. He's still very much independent. I think he has one of the most inspiring stories of people who've been able to reach this point doing it their own way. And I'm actually also very happy about the type of content he makes, or type of.
So he's given a little bit of background on LaRussell, which I appreciate, because I keep saying, is it LaRussell? It's probably LaRussell. It's probably LA, because he's from California. I actually don't care.
Conversations he has in his music, being able to even reach this many audience, you know what I mean? Because hip hop, or at least the rap industry, for example, rap music itself has grown pretty narrow over the course of this century. You don't have things that are targeted towards kids, for example. There isn't a crisscross. One of my favorite songs of all time is still I Miss the Bus.
Gotcha.
Like the day I Miss the Bus, I identify with that song every time. You know what I mean?
LaRussell.
You don't even have that.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of heavy D's. There's not a whole lot of just like kid and play, the range that hip hop used to be. And to me, LaRussell represents a lot of that. And I think that's amazing and fantastic, right? And LaRussell, he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way with some commentary that he had about a song that he was his producer told him not to put out. And so I'm gonna play.
Hey, so Justin Hunt, the nice guy that he is, he's setting this up in a very charitable way, giving you a nice background about who LaRussell is, what he has contributed to hip hop and rap culture, and he's saying that he has some commentary that rubbed people the wrong way. I frankly would describe it more as frankly egregious, but we're gonna get there.
This, and then I want to get everyone's reactions and see what you guys think about this, because if you take this and then you add it to a couple of weeks ago, I think there was some viral conversations going back and forth about him, and it's really interesting watching someone who has been very independent for so long now run into mainstream conversations. I think all of this is probably the best thing that can happen to him.
Wait, is this the Epstein? Yeah, yes, it is. Yes, it absolutely is. I have a curious question. What type of phase is hip hop in? What type of phase is hip hop in your perspective? I think is what you're trying to say. I am generally of the belief that hip hop is in whatever phase you personally think it's in. I think that you should find music that resonates with you and cherish it and share it if you think other people would enjoy it. I do think that some people are giving it a bad look or propping it up properly. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's something that can ever truly die, The culture is ingrained in the people.
But just seeing how he is handling it, because The lights are bright, and a lot of times you don't realize that until you're on a different stage. But here's what LaRussell had to say.
Listen to this. Try not to get mad.
I made this record and I sent it off to my engineer, and he calls me. He said, man, you probably shouldn't put this out. I said, why? What the hell happened? He said, you talking about Epstein, there's a lot of shit going on. And I said, thank you for calling me. I'm finna drop this.
First of all, the fake nervous laugh is kind of what's frying me here.
And I said, thank you for calling me. I'm finna drop this.
Buddy, come on. You know good and well. How many times have you heard of a song before or after it dropped, the artist coming out and saying, somebody that I work with told me not to release this? I don't know if I've ever heard of that before. You should have known. You should have known. Your engineer tried to save you. What a guy. What a guy. But let's listen to what he's talking about. What song? The song is called Heavensent. I actually looked it up. We will listen to a little bit of it. It's not good. It's not good. The artist is LaRussell. He's under fire because of a controversial song that he put out, and some of the lyrics are pretty nutty.
That's exactly why we need it. Because everybody sit and be silent. And the goal of an artist is to express the times and discuss, say all the things that nobody else want to say or know how to say. I'm not perfect, and neither is the president. Was guiltier than a nigga hiding evidence.
Hold on. Let me get this at the proper speed so we can judge it as it is. I'm going to tell you that I understand what he's trying to say, and the execution of it is horrible.
And discuss, say all the things that nobody else want to say or know how to say. I'm not perfect, and neither is the president. Was guiltier than a nigga hiding evidence. You can't be mad that they heated if you don't let them vent.
You can't be mad that they heated if you don't let them vent. That bar coming directly after the president, like, I'm not perfect, neither is the president. You can't be mad if they're heated if you don't let them vent. Who are you talking about? Are you talking about Donald Trump? Because he vents all of the time. Are you referring to like a general public? Because everybody has a platform to... It's not written well from the jump before we even get into the worst bit.
Even the devil was heaven sent. Even Malcolm was heaven sent. Even Martin was heaven sent. Even Kanye was heaven sent.
Okay.
We all heaven sent.
I think that he has a fundamental misunderstanding of what it means to be heaven sent. Like, he started out well, right? This shit nonsense. Yeah. He says the devil was heaven sent, which is true, technically speaking. Lucifer started out in heaven. I'm not trying to get too religious with it, but it's important to have the context. To say that the devil was heaven sent, fine, I understand what you're getting at. Malcolm, MLK, etc. Okay, these are what most people would refer to as good people. If you want to say that they came at a proper time and they contributed positively, then yeah, sure, they're heaven sent. But he doesn't stop there.
Donald too.
Sorry.
Sent. Even Kanye was heaven sent. We all heaven sent. Donald too. We all heaven sent. Epstein too. We all heaven sent.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm gonna run it back just in case you missed it. Just listen to it again.
Donald too. We all heaven sent. Epstein too. We all heaven sent.
You don't know what the word means. I suppose the idea is that God created everybody. He created me and you, so he created the good and the bad. You have to ask, as an artist, as somebody that creates anything, what is my intention here? Because to me, it sounds like we're meant to be sympathetic to these people. What exactly are we trying to get off with this music? God created everybody? That's not really a take. Make it make sense.
Adolf too. We all haven't seen.
What is the meaning of this? To me, this is somebody that is rage baiting. And he's gonna try and convince us that he's not rage baiting and he's dead serious. And it's unacceptable.
Even you. We all haven't sent.
Open floor.
All right. So we just saw the clip. There's a certain way in which I would like us to approach this. First, I want to hear what the Culture United gang, their reaction to this is. I don't like the whole even you. I don't like being juxtaposed with Adolf Hitler. Like, I don't like that. He's like, I don't even feel comfortable saying this on camera. He said, quote, Donald 2, Epstein 2, Adolf 2, even you. Why? What are we doing? What are we doing? What is the reason?
Justin, you have the greatest chat. I'm gonna start with that. Like, just read the comments of the chat. It's great.
All right, we got. Oh, everybody's got their cash tags here, by the way. Quick aside, okay? Quick aside. It just occurred to me that all of these people have their Cash App in their username, which I think is really nice because, you know, the idea of people being paid for their time is good. If you're familiar with the Spread the Bread movement, it's kind of the idea that if you are doing something that is similar to the work that you already do, you should have the opportunity to be compensated for it. And it sounds like Justin Hunt has actually implemented this on his show, which is crazy because I was the one that pushed for this initially, and I was shunned for it. But we're not here to get into that. That is an issue that somebody has with me that is notably absent from a lot of these latest Culture Uniteds, but we're not going to get into that today. The point that I'm trying to make is I like the fact that you could support these creators who are taking time out of their day to do this panel. Shout out Justin Hunt for that. That's a wonderful thing. Let's move on.
You know, it's the opposite side of that Lil Wayne coin, where like Lil Wayne was like had a siloed amount of things that he rapped about, and then LaRussell has rapped about a lot of things, and now we're here. And you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't. He took the shot, it didn't work.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know what? I'm gonna let him land first. I'm gonna let him land. Somebody else is gonna question this. I'm sure.
People ain't rocking with the rhetoric. I get the intent, but yeah, I just think it landed at the wrong time.
Are you damned if you don't say that Epstein was heavensent? Like,
No.
Are you damned if you don't do that? Would LaRussell been damned if he didn't do this?
Thank you, Justin. Thank you. Okay. I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was about to crash over nothing. Okay. We're good. He's getting checked. It's fine.
He would be less damned if he didn't do this, because now people are saying, damn little Russell.
No. He wouldn't be less damned. He wouldn't be damned at all. It's so easy to just not. I don't know why we're talking like this, but it's okay. I'm gonna let it slide. It's not my show.
But Russell, but I mean, like, you know, you try to stretch your legs and do the things that's going, like, you know, move the needle a little bit. You know, I think when he's in a booth, he's writing this. He knows it's gonna be controversial, but like sometimes at what cost though? You know?
At what cost? In my opinion, this is gonna sound harsh, but maybe everything. Maybe Like, I have more ammo, I have more juice than I think these people even have. And I would go as far as to say that the behavior of LaRussell isn't just a bad take or controversial or rage bait. I would argue it is gross and blasphemous. Like, I think it's borderline like sickening, but we're gonna get there.
Yeah. BK, what do you think?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, either way. Go ahead, BK.
I don't even like that he gets presented like that's the other side of the spectrum. That's not. A lot of times when people do have conscious music and they're trying to talk about shit, they call them performative. You know how the right wing has taken over the word woke, which used to be a positive thing and now made it a negative. People try to make it like you're being performative. This is performative. So I don't think it's fair for LaRussell to be treated as if he represents that other side of the spectrum of people trying to have substance. There was no substance here. This was like the grand rising shit that people talk about, where you're attempting to say something, but you don't actually have the knowledge to talk about it. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm super mad at LaRussell.
Fry him! Cook him. Who is this? El Janelle? Good shit. I'm a fan. You got me. Good stuff. Put him in a coffin.
So I've been supporting LaRussell since he came out. And now I feel like he was definitely cosplaying a person with forward thinking ideas, introspection, trying to be smart enough to do something different. And I also hate that he's
rage baiting.
Fodder to the idea that signing to Rock Nation is gonna fuck you off. Because even with the Lil Wayne shit, I felt like he went a little too viral because a lot of people agree. Like, you'll see the panel just said Lil Wayne really wasn't talking about shit. So
Wait a second. Whoa, wait. Time out. First of all, I didn't. Okay. Quick TO. Chathu, is LaRussell the same dude that said Lil Wayne, like, don't be rapping about anything? Is that the same guy? Help me out. Is that this guy? I genuinely don't know. I think it is. Because that's ridiculous. It is? Hold on. That's How dare you? How absolutely dare you? That's ridiculous. It just keeps getting worse. Hold on. That is him. Bro really said Lil Wayne isn't rapping about anything, and then comes out with a song saying Epstein is heavensent. Get the
I was surprised that people were so mad because I'm like, most people agree that Lil Wayne don't talk about shit. And it's like, now you add in this level, like, first of all, saying even the devil and then going even Malcolm, even Martin. As a person who sells words, you need to be much more careful with your words because they could be sharp. It's like Edward Scissorhands fucking up the lady when he was trying to fix her and shit. Like, words could be deadly. Words have meanings. The way you put them together, people can insinuate different things like that. And even putting Malcolm and Martin next to the devil was a problem, let alone...
That's what I'm saying. It's even the juxtaposition of the words is just, it's not insightful at all. It's not thought-provoking. It's just nasty. It's nasty work. It's disrespectful.
On putting them next to other similarly devilish people such as Donald Trump and fucking Jeffrey Epstein. So whatever he thought he was doing, he failed miserably, and he has completely lost my support. So I rescind every time I said I'm waiting on LaRussell because it's his character and one day he's gonna have a hit song. I rescind it. I don't give a fuck what he's talking about or what he's
Can relate.
Who can relate?
Who can relate?
We done with LaRussell. We done with him. She was a longtime fan. I didn't even know the guy. This is my first introduction to him. Imagine this being your first introduction to LaRussell. When I do content like this live show or any podcast you might hear, I like to imagine that there is a person that's going to be engaging with my content for the first time, and I try to keep that in mind when I'm creating something. If LaRussell would have had that thought, maybe his engineer had that thought. and tried to save him, but it's just not working. Because even now, your longtime fans are like, I don't want to hear anything else from you. You soiled it. Soiled it.
Doing, because this to me is not a mistake. This is not something that you kind of misunderstood what was going on and you was just trying to say God made us all. Also, I don't like that idea. So what? Okay. God made us all.
Heaven sent and God made is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he genuinely doesn't know that. Hold on. I prepped for this. This is important. He's 31. Everything I learn about this man makes it worse. Okay, hold on. I think I got... What does heaven sent mean exactly? If you're going to name the song after this. Heaven sent describes something extremely fortunate, opportune, or timely, as if provided by divine intervention. What are you talking about? You know what I hate? When people use words and they don't know what they mean. How do you... Don't make me mad. He doesn't know. He doesn't even know. Hold on, let me get back to the thing. Not this one. It's this one. He doesn't know what heaven sent means. So why are we doing it? Why are we saying Epstein was heaven sent? Why are we saying Donald Trump was heaven sent?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's a good point. Heaven sent, like
Heaven sent implies that it was something that was like it was perfect timing. That don't have nothing to do with this nigga talking about. But again, I've been hard on him from the beginning. I never bought the Goody Two Shoes act y'all niggas bought. Never bought it. I could catch it
I don't know who y'all is, but okay.
real fast. I could see through it. I wasn't. And I used to tell Charlamagne, I'm like, man, just because, like D1 do it all the time too, man. The homie D1 is doing it. You know what I mean? It's like,
I don't think you could put D1 with LaRussell.
Speed this up a little bit.
yeah, you can.
Why? Tell me what's the similarities.
I'll put them together.
Yeah, you can.
I'm not super familiar with the people that they're getting it with, but you know. Glasses wakes up. All right.
D1 is a Christian rapper. He thinks that he's actually, I mean, because if you think about what D1 is saying, he's saying you wouldn't want your daughter on that pole. And he's trying to push back against the idea of having negative imagery promoted like it's something positive. That is true. We've gotten so used to it that we like, hey man,
that's not what's happening. Like this is not the debate. Like you cannot forget the fact we are in America.
Uh-huh.
Like all that shit cool. We are in America. So again, it's one thing for us to push back on things that create lust and a bunch of shit. Feel me? But it's another thing when we seem to point out only the things that, again, at that game, they have a halftime show that creates the same lust. At that game, they got the motherfucking alcohol. They got beers that they advertise and selling everybody. At that game and on TV, they pushing gambling. You can't find the hometown black business as the centerpiece of what the fuck is wrong with the situation. And in LaRussell situation, but it's a pseudo positivity to combat. It's a pseudo positivity that's a great marketing ploy to combat where they think the space is. But the truth is there is a duality to existing, and it's fine. But dog, you can't tell me you think the idea of sexualizing something is worse than people gambling or alcoholism. Like the energy has to. And
I think he's talking about the Atlanta Hawks Magic City thing.
But it's all because it comes across pseudo positive.
Well, I want to ask you a question about that, right? So, one, I'll say this, right? I'm not sure if the question is picking one over the other. I think for me, the conversation starts with, oh, should we be adding this also? Right? We already got alcohol there, right? We've already got other things that
we don't have alcohol there.
Should we add brands that are specifically for
But
that?
we don't have.
We're getting off topic. This, as much as I love Culture United, this is one of the things that I would struggle with if I was a part of the panel. Because like the LA Russell shit, I said it again. LaRussell, that shit is obviously terrible, right? And like, I really think that we should stay focused and not be like, oh, he's doing the same thing that this other person is doing, or getting into like intense philosophical discussions about things that happen in other places. This is what I want to share with you all, okay? And we will come back to this because I still want to see if everybody gets their opinion off. But this is the actual song. Because what I want to do, which a lot of content creators don't do, in my opinion, is they see a clip of something, they hear a clip of something, and whether it's in context or not, I mean, to be fair, that clip in or out of context sucks. But this is the song that it comes from. LaRussell released this track. It's called Heavensent. Let's actually listen to it and see what he's talking about. This is like, I'm picking it up like halfway through.
Hey, I ain't perfect, and neither is the president. Was guiltier than the nigga hiding evidence. Can't be upset when they heated if you don't let them vent. Even the devil was heaven sent.
Okay.
Even Kanye was heaven sent.
Sure.
Even Hitler was heaven sent.
You lost me. You lost me. You lost me. You lost me. Even Hitler was heaven sent. Nobody thinks that. According to the definition of the word, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Even Martin was heaven sent.
And then juxtaposing it with like people that you love and respect.
We all heaven sent. Donald too.
Listen. Linda, listen.
Donald too.
Donald too. He's laughing. He's laughing in the background. You think this shit is funny? It's not. It's not good.
We all heaven sent. Epstein too. We all heaven sent. Malcolm too. Even you.
Me? The song's even worse than you think. Let me run it back a little bit because I don't even think the people on Culture United took time, and I don't blame them because it's horrible. Listen to earlier in the song.
Feed you, they keep you numb to the real. Work it high and you gotta deal with who you do a deal with. Am I too big to be tripping over little shit? Am I too big to be feeling so small? I want it all a bit less. Show me a bad bitch with high self-respect. Show me.
I think that using language like this in a song about people being heaven sent and God's creation is already off to me. Like, it's not good.
Be a real nigga who ain't got vices. Show me a pastor who got rich and still righteous. Show me a God that everybody agree on. What if Jesus was on the same shit that we on?
Since when are we putting the Lord's name in the same sentence as this profanity? If you want to make a song about how we are all God's creation, that's fine. Can you not juxtapose Jesus Christ, with whatever goes in your toilet? It's blasphemous. It's nasty work. And I don't even know if they're going to get into this on Culture United, but it's not even the fact that he's calling, I mean, that's most of it. That's really awful. Saying that Hitler and Epstein and Trump are heaven sent is already nasty work. But the fact, like, what if Jesus was on the same type of stuff we're on? He wasn't. He wasn't. I'm getting upset. I'm not going to crash out. I might have already. This is the worst thing I've heard all week.
What if Jesus was on the same shit that we on?
I don't want to do it anymore. I'm gonna get upset. Let me see if Culture United, if they spin the block. I want to hear everybody's opinion on this, but they're getting a bit off track for me. I want to see if they bring it back.
Have alcohol there, but we don't have alcohol there. We don't have gambling there. No, we don't.
At the game?
Well, here, let me rephrase because I think you're taking we as me talking about black people.
No, I'm saying.
I'm saying, at the game you got alcohol, the game you got dancers or all this stuff already. Should we add now strip club marketing on top of it?
Justified crash out deserved? Okay, all right. I don't typically get, super religious on the channel because I don't think that it particularly adds anything to the content that I might be trying to put out on any given day. But it's prevalent here and it is bothersome. I think anybody, even if you like aren't religious but are just like familiar with the ideology, you could understand like why it would be offensive. I'm frankly like I'm just as offended, if not more offended, by the, what type of Jesus was on or whatever. Like I find that more offensive than saying that Hitler was heavensent. Everybody knows that's stupid. But the idea that like he expects people to sing this song along with him, like he's making some type of point. There's no point. And when they finish talking about this, I'm going to show you all his response to the backlash, because it's about as bad as you could possibly imagine. But we're going to get there.
To that mix. To me, that's where the debate lives.
So in America, you can't find the one thing that a black person got to make your fucking stands.
Well, they have black alcohols, black liquors, for example.
Not in that
Are we going to get back to LaRussell? Let me see.
motherfucking arena.
I mean, I've a special, niche night, but like, yeah.
Like, I agree. I understand strip clubs create love because if your quote heaven sent or Hitler deserves, comes the problem.
We're back on track.
And it's like LaRussell, where it's like, are you implying that, let's say, Epstein deserves empathy? Because if
that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. Okay, Glasses and I, we're locked in. We might be cooking.
Your quote heaven sent or Hitler deserves heaven sent, even in comparison to Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, to relate them in any topic together is just crazy. And
Thank you.
And I get it, man. We are in a time where it feels like we are at our lowest and we feel desperate. Like a lot of us feel desperate. We think we hear rap and all we hear is kill, shoot, die, party, blah, 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 right? Because that's what it feels like we are hearing. But the truth is, it has never been that way. And we keep reaching out for things that come across ridiculously silly as a true idea of what positivity is. And it's like,
I don't know that we
complex.
I think I don't hear. Okay, I understand the duality. Yes, you have introspection. Yes, you have.
Yeah, I think that what LaRussell is trying to do is be the antithesis of what a lot of people perceive hip hop and rap to be, money, sex, drugs, killing, shooting, blah, 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 gang affiliation, whatever. Like, somehow, what he's doing by trying to make a song, a godly song, one that invokes the name of Jesus, somehow that is worse to me than your typical rap song from the Carter 3 where Lil Wayne's talking about running in your house and shooting your granny up. I know he's not serious. The problem with LaRussell is that he's serious, and it's seriously bad.
Have ideas where you would like your community to move in this positive path. And yes, you also have gluttony, lust, all of that on this side. It's duality. I understand that. But I don't think it's fair to say, if you a black man who wants to say this is trash, then you need to go say all of the white man shit is trash first and then get back to us black people. I just don't think that's a helpful
I
point.
think that's what makes your shit disingenuous.
Hold on, wait. But I don't think that is comparable to what LaRussell did, because at least what D1 is saying is actually true and makes sense. It is.
She's still on this D1 thing. Shout out Jason, I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Spread the bread. Spread the bread as always. This song has changed the standard in which I judge bad music. It's so interesting that you say that, because the way in which this Heaven Sent song is bad, it's bad in a way that I actually didn't know was possible. That's what's tough about it.
It's true that pussy rap, strip club culture does in some way influence younger girls, and not even younger, older girls, women, to feel like if I can get more sexual, if my aesthetic can be more sexual, then maybe I can get more respect in different spaces in order to.
She's cooking. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with El Janelle. She seems very cool. I like her.
Get what I want, whatever it is in the world, because this is America and that's how America works. So it is true that in some ways that culture can be influential. It is not true that Martin, Malcolm, Epstein, and Trump deserve empathy because they all come from the same place. That is not true. So that's why I think it's different what D1 is doing. I get what you're saying. He seemed like a fake preacher who's like, you really clout chasing off of saying niggas is fucking up. That's basically what you're saying, right?
I mean,
yeah.
that's his whole presence.
But why can't his presence be, I'm a Christian rapper. I feel inspired to speak out against the things that I think God frowns upon in our community because I love Black people so much that I think we're better than that. We're holier than that. And it's not enough to say and do that. Why can't that be what he believes?
No.
I think he believes that shit for real. And I'm not a
He does believe it. Also, I think that I assume they're referring to LaRussell. Calling LaRussell a Christian rapper is like genuinely offensive to Christian rappers. I don't even listen to them like that. But Lecrae dropped an album. What was it called? Reconstruction? It was fire. That was such a good album. But I digress.
like that. So I
know it's part of business and branding.
Well, I take him as very sincere on that because he is that way prior to and even just off record. You know what I mean? I've known him for a very long time. He is sincere about his feelings. Mm-hmm. Now, whether or not, it comes across that way to everyone else, that's something different. But he is very sincere about his position on all the things that he advocates for.
I just think that they're very aimed at Black people.
Yeah,
I do think
I see the aiming at Black people angle because, like I said, I talked about that basketball game. Literally, the season started with La Costa Nostra paying off coaches and players to fix games.
All right, dog. I don't care about this basketball game that they keep referring back to. For those of you that came in late, I want to tell you all exactly what happened. I want to show you what the man did, and then I want to show you his response to the criticism because I have not been gassing this up, okay? It's really as bad as you think it is. So first, I want to show you all the initial clip. Shout out Culture United. Appreciate them for their contributions, and we're going to come back to them. First, I want to show you the initial clip, okay? I'm not going to crash out. Okay. This is LaRussell's Twitter. He says, my engineer told me I probably shouldn't put this out. That's exactly why I put this out. And it's crying laughing emojis. And I think that's kind of telling about where we're at. Are you being serious or not? Like, are you a serious artist or not? So listen to this, just as a quick refresher.
I made this record and I sent it off to my engineer, and he calls me. He said, man, you probably shouldn't put this out. I said, why? What the hell happened? He said, you talking about Epstein, there's a lot of shit going on. And I said, thank you for calling me. I'm finna drop this.
They're laughing because they don't know how bad it is.
That's exactly why we need it. Because everybody sit and be silent. And the goal of an artist is to express the times and say all the things that nobody else want to say or know how.
This is the guy that J. Cole haters think that J. Cole is. This is actually fake deep. It's fake deep. It's blasphemous. It's nonsense. J. Cole will talk nonsense, but at least he can actually rap. Like when he gets to the songs, like they're actually decent.
To say, I'm not perfect, and neither is the president. Was guiltier than a nigga hiding evidence. You can't be mad that they heated if you don't let them vent. Even the devil was heaven sent. Even Malcolm was heaven sent.
Look at the crowd, bro. They are not reacting to this.
Even Martin was heaven sent. Even Kanye was heaven sent. We all heaven sent. Donald too. We all heaven sent.
It is a tough watch. I'm sorry, but it's important.
Epstein too. We all heaven sent. Adolf too. We all.
One more time.
Adolf too.
Get him banned. Get him banned. We don't do that here. Oh, now I'm pissed. Find out who that is, get him banned. We don't do that.
Adolf, Donald Trump, Epstein, heavensent. Sure. All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
We all heaven sent. Even you.
Yeah, no, don't let me in with this. Okay, so that's the initial clip. It's important for you all to understand just how many people this reached. It hit 6.5 million views. Unfortunately. Let's take a look at the comments. I have not filtered these. I haven't screened these. Let's see. Your engineer was really the one who's heaven sent. Yeah. This is the fella saying Lil Wayne had no bars, but he's babbling Twitter buzzwords over a beat. Cook. Shout out Spectre. Should have listened to your engineer. Oh, here we go. I'm an actual fan, but this isn't it. Not because you're wrong, but because, oh, well, I mean, never mind. Bad take. What a silly way to burn damn near all the goodwill you've garnered as an independent artist. Nobody likes this. I'm scrolling. This is the 2-pack of ass clip. You already know that it is. I'm going to play it anyways. It's prevalent.
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass.
That's like the best thing that Joe Budden has contributed to the zeitgeist or whatever. You should have listened to bro. I try really hard not to hate on him, but my God, calling pedos heaven sent is bizarre. You are humanizing pedophiles and dictators. They're right. So you scroll and scroll and scroll. As you can see, nobody likes this, okay? This is the moment you've all been waiting for. This is his response to the criticism. Culture United did not get around to this as far as I know. I'm just thinking about what he says and I'm getting mad again. Let me just show it to you. In response to the backlash, he puts out this 5-minute video. And he says, we all heaven sent, not heaven bound. Argue with your mama or Barack Obama. First of all, not serious, not taking the criticism seriously. The caption's already bad. You already know that it's gonna be bad. I'm sorry in advance. Here we go.
Good morning, America. Hey, the past few days, I've been working, so I ain't got to really be on social media. I cut my shit, I schedule it, and I post, and I get into the world. The homies briefed me yesterday on all the outrage. And my first thought was, niggas ain't that slow.
Oh, okay. First of all, if you think that him saying Epstein is heaven sent is weird and bad, you're probably slow. That's what we're saying. It's your fault. You're dumb, obviously.
But I go and look, and niggas that slow.
Yeah, it's us. It's everybody else.
Listen to the music. Like, there's no way niggas hear that clip and they like, you support Epstein.
Nobody said that. No one. Not one person thinks that. Why? Nobody was saying that you support Epstein. That's not a real thing. Nobody in this chat has said it. Nobody on Culture United said it. Nobody in any of the comments said it. He's just making that up. I believe they call it a straw man. You are defending yourself against something that nobody said.
When the world be in despair, sometimes you need realization. And that realization for me through this song was like, damn, the same God who created Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, who did so many great things, is the same God that created Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, who did.
Why didn't you just say that then? Also, we know? I'm not gonna get mad. I'm sorry.
So many evil things. And it's crazy the range of what a human life is capable of. It's capable of changing the world and detrimenting the world.
Also, what's crazy is, you would think over time it would occur to him to look up the definition of heaven sent because that might inform him on why people are so upset. By definition, the title of your song and what you're saying about these people is wrong. It's fundamentally wrong. So you would think after some time, he would come back and be like, I see why people were upset. But instead, he's like, I didn't think y'all were that slow, but you are that slow. It gets worse.
That's the purpose of the song. That's my realization of like, damn, this is all from the same place, and look which way it can go when somebody is misguided, when somebody doesn't have all the tools, when somebody...
He didn't even say that in the song.
just chooses to use their life in a negligent way. And it's insane for niggas to take that and be like, you support Epstein. Like, you niggas is weird. Like, if you want to know...
Oh. We're weird. Chathu, you're weird. You're weird if you didn't get it. You're weird, you're wrong. Also, again, nobody said you support Epstein. Nobody said that. People were just saying that juxtaposing these things is stupid and you don't know what heavensent means. That's it. People said you should have listened to your engineer. The song shouldn't be out. I don't understand what's so hard to get about this. But somehow he yaps for 4 more minutes about how everybody is wrong except for him. How?
Where I stand, go look at my life. Go look.
No. Actually, I won't. I won't. This is how I was introduced to you. Why would I want to know more after this?
Listen to my music. Go see what I do in my community. Go speak to somebody who actually know me. Be fucking for real. It's so crazy how fast it go from black boy fly to get back in line, nigga.
Why are we popping out with the hard R? Why? 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 What is the implication? You think that people were being racist towards you? Nobody's being racist. Why? Nobody's telling you to get back in line. First of all, why does that even come so naturally to you? Did you plan to say this? Is this scripted? Or is that word was just on your brain? Like, I don't remember the last time. Yes, I do. It was that stupid Young Thug album. I don't understand what the angle here is. I don't understand. I'm gonna let you listen to it again because this is real. This is his response. This is his justification.
Be fucking for real. It's so crazy how fast it go from black boy fly to get back in line, nigga. Y'all want a nigga to be constricted and restricted so bad. And I'm never not gonna be free. I'm never not gonna be free in my speech and free in my thought and free of my art. Artists and comedians is the niggas who's supposed to express the times and what's going on and communicate it in a way that's like, man.
I am so... I've never found out about somebody, like discovered them and so quickly not just been not a fan of them, but like, I don't want to say I'm preying on his downfall. Like, I don't want his life to go to ruin. But some people just make it so hard to root for them. All I want... This is going to sound crazy. I want your legacy to die. I want people to forget you and all of this. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, this is what came to me. Y'all love to create enemies and try to bash anybody who has an opposing thought to how you feel. Nigga, I ain't got to show up how you want me to show up. This shit for me and my people and my base who resonate and connect.
No, it's... It is not for your people because your people don't like it. The idea that there is this shady room of individuals that are trying to stunt your artistic expression, it's just not true. Nobody is calling you the hard R. Nobody's telling you to get back in line. No one's telling you that you can't express yourself how you want to. They're just giving you criticism. They're giving you feedback. People just want you to be better. People were rooting for you. You are making it difficult for them to continue. It's not that complicated. There's no conspiracy. You're just wrong.
Everybody else could suck my dick. And there's niggas who don't do a quarter, a tenth of what I do. You niggas benefiting off shit I've done. What you do besides talk on the net? Even you haven't sent with your dumb ass.
I'm speechless. This is why people don't rock with religion, because of people like this. You can't claim to be this and then act this way. It doesn't make any sense. I won't accept it. I can't. It's not good.
Shout out to my people who know, who been here since Do That Little Dance, who been here since Soup and Crackers, who know what's up with me. And shout out to our new niggas who just been waiting for a reason to hate a nigga. You know, that'll take.
Hey, shout out to y'all. Shout out to me. I appreciate it. But here's the thing, like, I wasn't waiting on a reason to hate. Like, I had no idea who you are. I did not know who you were until like a day or two ago. So, you know, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to oppose whatever this is. I'm currently the biggest hater. I'm currently like in the top percentile of your haters right now. I'm glad you appreciate me.
The truth. Me saying Jeffrey Epstein is heavensent is the truth. God made him too. A lot of you niggas be so religious and so spiritual and so righteous, but this is what you do with your time and your effort. Hey, don't be free as no artist.
Nobody said that. 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 You're lying. Nobody said you can't be free as an artist. You're making it up. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Maybe this will help me blow off some steam. Hold on. Thank you. I appreciate you. The channel would not be here if not for the members. I appreciate you. Yeah. I don't use the word hate maybe ever. You know, I'm one of those people that, like, if they're fortunate enough to have children, would be like, hey, don't say you hate anybody. That's not good. It's not a good word. I kind of hate this guy. I really kind of do. This is honestly worth spinning the block on and hitting a podcast as well. You know, a few hundred people might come across this live. To me, that's not good enough. I don't think I'd be hating hard enough. Because it's awful. And it gets worse. It still gets worse.
Don't say whatever message is delivered to you. Don't write what come to you. Don't share what you think about the world. You know how stupid that sound? Y'all insane. You niggas become masters so fast. Boy, you better watch your mouth. Boy, you better watch what you do. It's even retarded niggas in there like, man, you be at school.
I don't think we bothered enough people, you know. I don't think we were doing bad enough, you know. I don't think that we hit every demographic. I don't think that people were hating on us enough, you know. Why not let this fly? What's crazy is this video was edited. Like this is a conscious choice.
The world. You know how stupid that sound? Y'all insane. You niggas become masters so fast. Boy, you better watch your mouth. Boy, you better watch what you do. It's even retarded niggas in there like, man, you be at schools around kids. Yeah, changing their life and helping them become something.
Do you know how crazy it is to use language like that and then immediately after be like, yes, I'm in school helping children? I hate him. I hate him. I think he's kind of a bad person. I think that like people that aren't good say things like this, you know? I don't see what's positive about this. I don't know who this benefits.
Giving them journeys and careers and an example of what they could be. What you be doing for them. Your kids don't even like you. You niggas just like to be triggered. And anything could trigger y'all. Anything can move y'all niggas. The simplest thing, just hearing something, can move you and get y'all to rally against a nigga who in his community giving back. A nigga who buying out grocery stores, a nigga who taking kids to get shoes and get clothes.
Bro's out here acting like he's Mr. Beast. I don't know how to say this. But I don't care about that stuff you did because you are tarnishing it by who you are being right now in this moment, you know? Like it genuinely doesn't matter. And the fact that he's saying that people are just waiting to be triggered by things. Frankly, there aren't a lot of things that trigger me. Like, not really at all. I would say like the blasphemy and the ableism and the gaslighting is pretty like, I feel like it's pretty easy to not do that. Just a friendly reminder, his own engineer told him not to put the song out. Is he a hater? Is he telling you to get back in line? Is he trying to keep you from expressing yourself properly? He's just trying to help you out. And this is your response.
Nigga who buying out restaurants, niggas who helping out the homeless. now I'm the enemy. Because you don't like how a nigga said something or what a nigga said. Because you committed to misunderstanding. Get the fuck out of here. You want to commit to something, commit to your career.
He never actually talked about what it meant to be heavensent. Like, he still doesn't know what the word means. Like, it doesn't mean what I think you were trying to make it mean in the song. Just this whole like, y'all don't understand. I'm just saying that God created everybody. That's not what you said in the song. It's not. It's just not. It's not.
Commit to being successful. Commit to doing more than I've done. Commit to actually being impactful. Nigga ain't gonna commit to that because it's easier to just press in on them.
I don't want to do this anymore. I can't listen to it anymore. But I will say this. I do have a little bit of faith in humanity. A little bit. Because as awful of a place as the app formerly known as Twitter is, there's something about a good ratio that you can still rely on, you know? Tell me how it lands that 1 million people saw this and 800 people liked it. How's that work? How's that work? I've never seen anything like it in my life. There are more reposts than likes. It's awful. Nobody likes it. Let's see, now that he has explained himself, what the comments are saying, you know, since he decided to elaborate. I haven't read any of these. I'll read some of the shorter ones. No one thinks you support Epstein. The music and the message was ass, and you should have listened to your engineer. I mean, that's good. That's pretty straightforward. Somebody actually took a really long time to share their opinion here. I'm gonna give you the gist of it. Shout out Gabe is here. Appreciate you, as always. He doesn't know the difference between creatures of God and children of God. John chapter 1. I dare you to read that right now. He won't. Because I don't think he's like actually really a religious person in my, you know, it's just my opinion. If bro wanted to make a song about the complexities of human development and how, despite all souls being connected amongst one another and created from a singular force as one consciousness, so we can still deliver very, very different experiences, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he could have just done it better than saying even Epstein was heavensent. What I think is one of my biggest takeaways from this is the fact that he's clearly rage baiting in the song. He's being purposely provocative to get attention. And then he's trying to gaslight people and say that they're triggered. And he's just trying to express himself. And it's extremely transparent. And it's frankly pathetic. And I think that this will follow him forever. And I think that it should, because it's the worst thing that I've seen this week by a lot. This makes what Jack Harlow did feel like not holding the door open for someone. This is so much worse than that. Spectre says, nobody thinks you support Epstein or Trump, but the song was terribly written and executed. Instead of blaming the audience for not understanding the message, you should apologize for how ignorant the quote-unquote song was. Somebody just posted a definition of heavensent, which I think would have been helpful. Heavensent person is someone who arrives in your life unexpectedly, usually at a moment of great need, and provides timely, invaluable help, comfort, or opportunities. Did Jeffrey Epstein or Donald Trump or Adolf Hitler do any of those things? Because if they didn't, then your song doesn't make any sense. LaRussell makes music for white people in corporate trying to impress they black coworkers. Somebody quoted him saying, even you haven't sent with your dumb ass. There is nothing positive here. There's people posting the definition of heaven sent. There is, I rock with you, bro, but that song was too whack to even call for this defense. Just say my bad, I be tripping sometimes. That would have been great. That would have been much better. If you're reading this, the blue check gets him paid for engagement, so this gaslighting and trolling is getting him paid. The fact that people have reduced these shenanigans to you trying to get a check from Elon should tell you all that you need to know. People are taking you so unseriously that they think that you're rage baiting for a check from X, okay? They aren't even trying to take the music seriously. They genuinely think that you're trying to get paid to rage bait. People don't view you as an artist, they view you as a troll. Could you imagine? I would feel so much shame. I don't know how much more I can say about this. I'm so mad. Okay, all right. Me personally, I couldn't imagine making a mistake this awful, seeing people so upset about this, and then just doubling down and pretending like everybody is wrong but me. I called it X because I was being derogatory, for the record. I want to see if they actually finish talking about LaRussell on Culture United, because naturally, and this is, my going theme whenever I react to anybody's content, I didn't think that they went hard enough, but that's okay. Let me see if this is where I left off. I think it is. Shout out the company, man. Shout out Culture United. Is this shame heaven sent?
In the NBA, like we already dealing with a corrupt everything that we watching. All
Can we please get back to LaRussell?
what the voice showed me that Wayne had the capacity to go there. If you don't really know what you're talking about, it's going to say that he can't step into, but you can tell this Elaine what he talked about. I asked myself, how much time does he invested in really finding out what these people are about that he's trying to compare to King, X, and Epstein? It sounded like to me, he sees, going back to marketing, he sees the vacuum that there's nobody saying anything at all. Now let me step into this lane and try to say something.
Derapy on Culture United win? I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Not because I wouldn't go on there. I actually would, because I think I have like valuable opinions and I could be decent and civil. But, the company man, as far as I know, has close ties to one individual that hates my guts. So what are you gonna do?
But I don't have the pistons in my engine to run that fast. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so he tried. It was a big flop because even when he defended it, I'm talking about the whole Epstein.
Like everybody else is dumb.
Yeah, like everybody else is dumb. It's
Oh, okay. So they did see him defend it. Okay. Why are they not more mad? See, this is why this is why maybe I shouldn't be there.
It's like, no, bruh. No, everybody's not heaven sent. You know what I mean? They say you say they came from God. That's one thing. But if you try to say, okay, just because somebody, even if Epstein came from heaven, hell, when he came to earth and became the devil. So it's like, do you really want to sit around and even have that conversation? If you're going to bring Epstein up, if you're going to bring Trump up, talk about it with nuance. And if you don't have the nuance to talk about it, just go back to talking about bubble jacket rap. You know what I mean? Do what you do. We're not going to tell you not to do this. Just stay in your lane. You know what I mean? You're not going to see my fat ass trying to run a 100-yard dash. I can't do it. You know what I mean? You got to
That's good. That's funny. Comparing this man trying to have nuance in his raps to a very much overweight man trying to run a 100-yard dash is very apt. It's very well said, you know.
Stay what you do, and I think LaRussell tried to step out of that, and yeah, it didn't work.
I think a lot of times when every other outfit is being worn, you put on what's left, and I think every other marketing.
Hold on. What did he say? That might have been a bar. Hold on.
I think a lot of times when every other outfit is being worn, you put on what's left. And
there's no more space for you. Everybody's already found their place. All you have is leftovers. That's tough. You dress bad and you smell when your music sucks.
And I think every other marketing, I don't want to call it gimmick, but it could be viewed as a gimmick, but every other thing
it's a gimmick
that can be done has been done. So now a lot of people troll. They say the things because they know it's going to get clicks and views. And either they go rock with you, or they're not going to rock with you. The attention span theater of people in this alleged cancel culture era is so short that, all right, cool, people gonna talk bad about you for a couple of weeks. They're gonna have the things they're gonna have to say, and it's what you do next is gonna predicate whether they're gonna rock with you beyond that.
That's very wishful thinking. That's very wishful thinking. Me personally, I'm hating on LaRussell for life. But that's just me, His other fans might be like, hey, he just had a bad moment. But I think that the song and the message in and of itself is obviously terrible. I would argue that the doubling down, like the 5-minute response, is what would put the nail in the coffin for me as a fan, That's kind of where I'm at with it. It is okay to put out a bad song and have a bad message, I'll put out a bad podcast. I have terrible takes sometimes. But I would never double down on a take that everybody hated, Even if it was something as crazy and controversial as Yah and God Off Damn being not good songs. But honestly though, this is awful. And doubling down on it is borderline unforgivable, If there was a world where Lawbry State Graham came out and was like, I lost the battle, suing was lame, Kendrick's the greatest rapper of all time. It would be really pathetic for a bit. But honestly, I would respect it. And I think everybody would respect it over time. But I don't know. People just can't take L's. I feel like I've been saying this ever since my channel popped off. Ever since I've become a bit of a public figure. I feel like that's a running theme. People make mistakes, they do something wrong, and they cannot take the L. I had a beef with somebody last year. They never took the L. They just deleted all their content related to the situation. It's okay to just be like, I could have handled that better. I messed up. I crashed out. But I feel like LaRussell threw that opportunity out of the window with that 5-minute response. So it's kind of over.
Going back to the D1, a lot of times we're gonna lean in on things because I know D1 personally. He's in my phone. I and like Justin said, he is this way.
When you drop it a diss on, I don't care.
Out here caring, he really care. And when you close to the stove like we are about black issues, it does hit a little different. It feels more personal because it's connected to us. As a person who has no daughters, I didn't see no harm in the Magic City promotion that was going on at where the Hawks play. I keep forgetting the name of the place because they change it every 7 years. But Magic City is an institution here. Whether they were at the game or not, people know about Magic City when people sometimes lean in towards the safe targets and not go after the real monsters behind the mask. The FDAs,
People go after the safe targets. But what's crazy is he didn't even go after. You know what? It just occurred to me about that song. It's it's really crazy. A word I've been trying not to use because people use it for everything all the time, nonstop. What's actually crazy about that song is to mention the worst people ever and not talk about them being bad. What a weird thing to do. That's weird, right? He didn't even try to really get into the nuances of it. There was no effort at all. The bare minimum thing he could have done is be like, these are awful people, but God still loves them. We still would have been like, okay, sure, why though? But it wouldn't have been as bad as just pretending like, you and me, we're just like Hitler. Like, you're fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I was doing a really good job. Not stooping to that level. The man's an imbecile. He's a moron. He's unintelligent. He's uninformed.
I'm saying the people that are running the scams, making the bills, how the fact that Trump just pardoned the Ticketmaster people, the way the whole rest of this world is handling the whole Epstein thing, even if, people are going in and out of jail real quick, just get the mugshot, just to make it look like they're doing something. Like, let's really flip the goddamn table over. You know what I'm saying? If we really want to go there. I mean,
Yeah, I want to know
all the targets.
I want to know who this was for, like, especially looking at the Russells.
This is great. Culture United is great. They're asking all the questions that I would probably ask. Who is this for? Genuinely. Like who?
Yeah, I want to know
all the targets.
I want to know who this was for, like, especially looking at LaRussell's response to the backlash. Like, okay, who was this for? I think he was engaging in a little bit of rage bait marketing, like we talk about.
Okay, I think they get it.
About a lot here, and it was successful. And I say that because I never thought. I mean, I was just one of those people, I guess, like, that supported LaRussell from a distance, because it just seemed like with the indie thing and with like the community thing and all that, I was like, I never really paid too close attention, but I was like, that generally seems like a good thing that he's got going over there, whatever. But I also hate that he did this, because I agree with the message, like what he said before he started rapping, when he was just like, basically, in the vein of Nina Simone, where the artist's job is to reflect the times, and it's to say what is too taboo to say, and it's to, kind of bottle up everybody's feelings about the time. And
yeah, he's almost making a point. What's crazy is he's like, it's really important for artists to talk about the important issues, and then he doesn't. It's really important for us to speak the truth and positively affect, and then he does the opposite. It's like a weird morality bait and switch. It's almost worse than just putting out the bad art. It's being like, I'm about to do something really cool, and then just pooping on the floor. Thanks, LaRussell. It stinks in here.
Put it in the music or in your art or whatever. Like, I agree with that on its surface, but that's not what he did here. It felt like he did a lot of that for shock value. I think it's really disrespectful to Malcolm and Martin to lump them in with the devil and Donald Trump and Epstein and Adolf Hitler. Like, I'm just still so gagged that he did that. But then he had a Twitter response where he was like, oh, like, I didn't realize y'all were so, like, he tweeted.
Oh, they know about the response. Yes, we did our homework. Hey, shout out Culture United. Yes. Okay. Some of them saw the response. Oh yeah. Bury him.
All was the word.
Then he released a video that's like 2 minutes long. That's like, I don't really be online, but my homeboy debriefed me about what happened. I was like, no, you were just tweeting. You were just tweeting somebody's
whole career comes from being online.
He's online. You're online now. But then like the video was like, y'all are so slow. Y'all are R-worded.
Yes. Beat the dead horse. Bury the dead horse. More dirt. Everybody get shovels.
Y'all just want something to be mad about. I'm out here saving my community. I'm out here doing this. What are y'all doing instead of just sending off a tweet? And it's just kind of like
what Drake was trying to diss Kendrick for is like what this guy is. Like, he feels like a fake activist. He does these things in his community, and I'm not doubting that he actually does them, but then he acts like an actual shitty person. So it kind of tarnishes what you do. I think if you reach out to Justin, have a conversation, maybe he'll bring you back at some point. He doesn't seem like he would allow another man to dictate how he runs his platform. That is a great point. He probably would be open to that. But I think that there's a good portion of his audience that, is like really, really into, more than one person that happens to hate me. So I don't think that it's worth it, but I appreciate the idea.
Taking the critique and passing it off as hate and passing it off as like, y'all are just, Monday morning quarterbacking or whatever they call it. I was just like, well, damn, LaRussell, what was it for? What actually was your message here? Because not only did you use the phrase heaven sent wrong, and like to Elle's point, as someone who's selling words, you need to be a little bit more precise with that. You do not need to be creating any type of latitude for empathy for these heinous individuals under a white supremacist capitalist patriarchy, under an authoritarian regime. Like, do you think this is the time and space to be like, I just thought it was interesting that like the same God that made me and you made
Exactly.
It's like, okay,
What's interesting about that? Like,
It's also like just the lamest, most lukewarm room temperature take imaginable. It just hit LaRussell at 31 years old. Wait a minute. God made me and you, but he also made Hitler. Whoop-de-doo. I don't... Would you like a cookie? She's cooking. She's great. She's wonderful. Great panel.
trying to figure out what's the next step. Like, okay.
And then what? And then what? And it's, you know, so that we all recognize our human. Well, that's not what you said. You know, you're extrapolating a lot from the shock value of what you said. Nobody behind you was rocking with it. Nobody there was feeling it, you know, in the video seemingly. Was trying to shake the head, and it's like, as you go, Donald, Epstein, Adolf, what are we doing here? But I thought the response lacked couth and lacked tact. And I thought, damn.
Lacked couth and lacked tact? I don't know if I have ever heard somebody like get that off in the flow of a conversation like that. I'm so impressed with this woman. She said no couth and no tact. That's so fucking cool.
Like, you're attacking
awesome.
The very people who maybe don't press play on your music or whatever because that's not our cup of tea, but just have been supporting you. You're making me not want to engage with you, period, especially because it feels, I don't want to say biting the hands that feed you or whatever, but it's like the community is telling you, hey, bro, you should have listened to the engineer. This was not it. What you tried to do, you didn't do that. You didn't execute. And then your response is, you're too slow to get it?
Yeah, it's awful. It's one thing to make a bad thing, but it's another thing to tell everybody that they're all wrong if they don't get it. I love this comment. What if the person who invented college didn't go to college ass song? Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's just, it's lazy, and it's not well thought out, and it's embarrassing.
I feel disrespected and embarrassed for him, and like I don't want to hear anything else from him. I'm not saying he's just the most evil guy or whatever, but it does kind of make the positivity shtick seem disingenuous.
He's not evil. He's just bad.
So I don't know what he's going through right now, but like you need to.
He's not going through nothing. Two things. Earlier on my stream, it's a brother named K-Way, and K-Way said he's spiritually immature. Oh damn! Shout out to K-Way. Damn.
That is the craziest roast I've heard in a minute. You're spiritually immature. Your spirit is that of a child. You speak... You do not speak of what you know. You participated in 1.5 church services over a decade and a half ago. And now you're trying to preach. You're spiritually a child. Holy bake.
Okay, wait, once they applause.
Oh, he was explaining that to me that he was, damn, that's dope. That he was spiritually immature. One, right? And I think that's part of it, but also I think he thinks he's smarter than everybody in the room. And that's
This is great. I feel like, again, this dude is acting the way that J. Cole haters think J. Cole is acting. But also, to be real, some J. Cole fans act like this too. Like, y'all just don't get it. Yes, we do. Actually, yes, we do. It bothers me that people think that just because they have some money or they have a platform or they have a little success that they just know better than people, you know? I'm nice with words. I think it takes a certain level of talent to do what I'm doing right now, but I'm not going to act like I'm smarter than everybody in the chat, you know? I don't know everything, and it's okay to say you don't know everything. Like, it's fine. It's actually really cool.
Two, back to D1, and this is kind of why I compare. Just like Ollie, I got D1 in my phone. It's not somebody that I won't talk to. But 2, when you tell me you are Christian before you black in America, that's a big problem.
I'm gonna let him land first.
But 2, when you tell me you are Christian before you black in America, that's a big problem. And I think that's where you generate these problems from. That's where a lot of the disconnect for me comes from.
But how does
I mean, I don't agree with that. I think that like if you're really locked in on, you know, I'm gonna get religious here for like less than a minute. If you are really, really committed to, you know, your deep personal relationship with Jesus Christ, you gave your life to him and all that, like I don't think it's fundamentally a bad thing if you are somebody of faith to like put your quote unquote religion before your skin tone, your ethnicity. You know, I don't particularly agree with that, but it's okay. It's fine.
Is that connected back to LaRussell? Because you think it's the Christian idea of him saying that is heaven sent?
Yeah, that's what he thinks, but he's not separating God made from heaven sent, which it wouldn't matter at all. This is not the context, you know, as a mature person spiritually, you would use that. You would say that to say somebody deserves empathy.
I think I understand what he's trying to say. I think what he's saying, like when it comes to the music that he's making, in the culture that he's making it in, it's not always the best idea to approach things from a Christian first. And then also I would argue that he's not, regardless, because of the language that he's using. Like there was a time ago where I would go live on Sundays. I need to bring this back. And I would do like a Sunday service. And during those streams, if I'm watching a church service, I'm not going to swear at all. There's no respect there. LaRussell doesn't have that respect. He's spiritually a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
You couldn't rationalize why Jeffrey Epstein needed empathy. That it would be
right.
Like, you know what I mean? It would, right. You don't, that's not, again, there's nothing wrong. If you have a reason, if you could tell us a story like, hey, this is what happened to him, and you're not doing that, you don't have enough depth.
Yeah, he's also not even trying. Yeah, that's the whole thing. He's not even trying to actually tell the story. If you're going to bring up these people and just be like, God made them and God made you, and like go into some type of depth, he didn't try. He didn't try at all. Lazy and lame.
Right? And then specifically, but I'm telling you, it's people understanding marketing based off of what's happening on the internet and providing. That's not to say it don't fit genuinely their brand, but sometimes people double and triple and quadruple down on ideas that start to escape. And then you start to see the flaws in it. Like, again, when I'm hitting D1, I'm like, D, I'm in his comments. I didn't call him, I'm hitting him. I'm like, D, like, bro, like, they promote gambling every day, bro. I haven't seen one thing. And there's nothing wrong with standing up against things that create lust. You know, like I told him, I said, look, I get it. Sexuality is what it is, but we also let 9-year-old kids play the video game where they're killing each other. I think it's probably better to let somebody see somebody stripping than play Call of Duty at 9, right?
What the fuck? What? I'm sorry. What did he just say? Hold on. I just want to make sure that I didn't hear this wrong. One second.
No, again, like I told him, I said, look, I get it. Sexuality is what it is, but we also let 9-year-old kids play the video game where they're killing each other. I think it's probably better to let somebody see somebody stripping than play Call of Duty at 9. Right?
No. It is much better to let your kid play Call of Duty than bring them to a strip club at 9 years old. Don't fucking listen to that. That shit is not right. I think he thought he was in a flow state and he lost it. That shit is not right. I don't agree with that. Nobody should agree with that. That's ridiculous. That's the worst. That's the worst take I've heard this whole stream. That's awful. That is terrible.
Right? So, and then he says to me, I am Christian before I'm black.
I need somebody to comment on that. I need somebody on this panel. to push back on that. He was doing fine. He was doing fine up until then.
Those are like the things that go off in my head in America, and it's in his comments. It's there.
Gay son or thought daughter had question. All right, chill.
It's there.
He said I'm Christian before I'm.
It's there.
That's the same team as the people bombing. Anyway, yeah, like I mean, all the wars. Christian before you black, that mean you be pro murder. Nothing wrong with Christianity. I ain't saying that at all. But
historically, slavery in this country, to think that in this country, so, and I think that's what starts to come across, Justin. Not to give the homie like bullshit. Forgive me, Dewan. Not to get a homie stick. You feel me? But it's like.
Homegirl on the bottom right is still trying to recover from the previous comment.
Bro, like, listen. You know, the thing about being a leader is to listen.
Oh, oh brother. All right. Hey, cut him off.
Right? When you lead people, you have to listen, especially in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of shit fucks me up. Like, how could you?
Yeah, like, and then going back, like, to
hey, give me a second. Hold on. It just occurred to me that I think there's a. Is this gonna populate for me? I'm trying to see if the live chat replay here caught this.
to LaRussell.
I think that's what starts to come across, Justin. Not
team is the people bombing. Anyway, yeah, like that.
Wait,
and then he says to me, I am Christian before I'm black. That's, you know, like I told him, I said, look, I get it. Sexuality is what it is, but we also let 9-year-old kids play the video game.
All right, listen to this. He's gonna say it again. I got the live chat from Justin's stream pulled up because I want to see if the good audience of Culture United caught this. Let me remove this QR code. Y'all watch the chat. Cause I know it's not just us. It can't be.
Video game where they're killing each other. I think it's probably better to let somebody see somebody stripping and play Call of Duty at 9, right? So, and then he says to me, I am Christian before I'm black.
I'm sorry. Yo, the girl on the bottom right, she looks like she just saw a ghost, man. She is genuinely physically clutching the imaginary pearls.
Those are like the things that go off in my head in America. And it's in his comments. It's there.
Wait, look at the chat. Look at the chat.
He's Christian before I'm.
It's there.
That's the same team as the people bombing. Anyway.
Wait, they said, no. Well, nah, bruh. Glasses, what? I don't know about that one, Locke. What? Hey, yo. Glasses, bruh.
Anyway, I mean, all the wars, Christian before you black, that mean you be pro murder. That's wrong with Christianity. I ain't saying that at all.
I'm sorry. Just watching people react to this, it's frying me. Brother, what? Take his mic.
In this country, to think that in this country. So, and I think that's what starts to come across, Justin, not to give the homie like bullshit, forgive me.
This comment just says, slow down, glasses. Whoa, brother, whoa, now. Yeah, I mean the first half.
The one, not to get a homie stick, you feel me? But it's like, bro, like, listen. You know, the thing about being a leader is to listen, right? When you lead people,
all right, I'm not going to pause it anymore. We're going to keep going until somebody does something about this.
You have to listen, especially in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of shit fucks me up. Like, how could you?
Yeah, like, and then going back, like, to LaRussell, you know, when it comes to what he was talking about, see, I think at the end of the day, we would be having this conversation, but it would be less energy had he had music like hits. You know, when you don't have hits, when you don't have music that everybody can rally around, Kanye got years of equity because of hits. You know, you hits to give you some equity. LaRussell, we liked him because of the concept. It was.
I don't know why they let Glasses back on. His takes always go mad left. Yeah, he was doing well for a while. All right, I'm gonna get rid of that now. I'll get back to looking at you all's chat again because that was crazy. See, I know that there's a small percentage of people that would probably like to see me on a panel like this, And moments like that are probably why I couldn't be, you know, because I'd have to cut the camera. I would have to cut the camera. I would have to cut the camera and mute the mic is the only way the show wouldn't get completely derailed, because there's just no way. There's just no way.
Was okay, you got this happy brother, and we need some more happy rap. We ain't seen happy rap since Kid and Play, so we need some happy rap. You know what I mean? You see the kids, you see the backyard, and you support it because you know that although I don't necessarily like his music, it looks like.
Also, apparently, you can say that. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Actually, I don't give a fuck. Crazy to be able to get this off, and it's probably fine, and he'll probably be back. But God forbid you crack a can of beer on the mic.
The people there are having a great time, so we need this brother to be here and do what he do, and that's cool. But now I'm looking at, because I worked for the Department of Mental Health for 15 years, and these kids and IEPs. Now my DMH mindset goes to, oh, hold on. Now the person the kids are looking up to is trying to draw an equivalence between Epstein and King. I don't know if I want that kind of message going down to my black kids that King, Epstein, Trump all belong. If you're going to talk to them about that, talk to them about the nuances of it. Now, the thing that we love about you the most, the fact that you connect the kids and give them a good time. Now, the next thing we look at when it comes to connecting the kid is, okay, what's your message? Like what you said, I missed the bus. That's the perfect kid song. I remember running to get when we was 10. Come on, man.
But that was something I would never ever do again.
Bruh, like
and I never did it again.
That whole 5th grade, every time somebody was late for the bus, like bus pulling off, somebody running up, we'd be like, I missed the bus.
I don't know how he got that off with no opposition. I'm still kind of in disbelief, but I'm trying to move past it, Chathu.
It was fun.
It was fun, but when you add this to that kid mix and you ain't got no hits, it's like, bruh.
Talking to my fucking kids? What's wrong with you?
It's also funny how, like, he's not necessarily running defense for LaRussell, but I do think it's interesting how he's basically saying, like, you don't have the equity to get takes off like that in a track. Like, if he actually had some hits, then this would be more forgivable. I don't think, at least I think that's what he was trying to say. People would be willing to listen to you more. Because, like, in a sense, you know, Kanye has done and said far worse things. Like, Kanye said pretty much... Wait a second. LaRussell really pulled a yay. Because Kanye was doing the same thing, like, bringing up, like, the worst possible figures and the worst possible imagery. And basically saying, like, you know, we love these people regardless or whatever. But people would still gravitate to Ye and his music because the music's good. That's so interesting. You know what? Kanye could get this off and still have a career. And LaRussell probably can't. And I don't know if that's fair, but, you know, it's not bad. It's not bad if he doesn't get past this.
But I feel like we're feeding people to the concept of something that we feel is missing. And the thing is, I'm not saying, look, I've critiqued LaRussell, talked to him on the phone. I had a whole sit down 3 hour with D1 and expressed different ideas. But this is the part of being a hip hop leader. See, it's one thing to be an artist. It's another thing to be a hip hop artist. There is a different level of responsibility and weight on your shoulders. It's a thing that a very niche community, kind of, you represent them. So sometimes it just separates from what we doing. And I told D1, like, because you are hip hop, you cannot ignore the streets in your idea. Now, it's a tough road because as a Christian man, you have to find a bridge between the streets and Christianity. Doesn't mean you have to permit and let sin go. But you also got to remember, who are you leading? And you can't just lead them into the place to where you like, I'm going to just correct them and everything else don't matter because you black first. And that's, to me, where I start to notice things that go left and right.
Okay. He's willing to die on that hill that you're black before you're Christian, which is fine. I guess, in a sense, like, biologically speaking, like, he's correct, you know. Religious affiliation, technically speaking, is a choice. But you come out the womb black. So, in a sense, he's not entirely wrong. But you know, if somebody devotes their lives to Christianity, then that could become more important to them than their ethnicity. But I still understand what he's saying. You know, other things that he said I'm not, but this is all right. This isn't a bad point.
For me. Now, not to everybody else. I'm saying some people, y'all, shout out to everybody. You know what I mean? I think your show is live. I know it's a chat. I see, yep. Whoever that feels like you Christian before you black. But hip hop is not Christian before it's black.
Okay, all right. He's getting the pushback in the live chat. That's fine.
That's for sure, I can tell you. Hip hop is not Christian before it's black. Hip hop is black before
he should have just started with that, but it's cool.
It's Christian. So when you say you this, that becomes the expectations. And it's not like you shouldn't let the Magic City shit go. Okay, cool. Now double down on some of these white establishments that's promoting way worse behavior to our kids. If that's the real goal, show that you stand with black people, not just when it's to your moral fiber standard, but there's things that's influencing our kids. Magic City ain't shit compared to motherfucking what is it? The gambling shit, the prize picks.
Yeah.
That shit don't hold a candle.
He's doing it again. He's doing it again. And I actually, like, the first analogy was terrible. I don't think he should go back to this at all. But he's basically saying that the Magic City show that they were going to have at the Hawks game, he's trying to make a point that, like, that isn't as harmful as the overwhelming sports betting epidemic. And, like, yeah, he's probably right. Like, that one event obviously isn't going to do as much damage as FanDuel does to the psyche of, like, a young, desperate man on a daily basis. But I think we should just stop talking about strippers' glasses. I think we should just move on from that. I wouldn't bring that up again.
Yeah.
That shit don't hold a candle to prize pick.
You also said before that you don't like when somebody trying to call somebody out for one thing and they bring up something else. Like, how is this not an example of whataboutism? If he's saying, hey, this is because to me, I think the Magic City shit fell into D1's like range of shit that he would talk about. Like, he's already created.
I lost the thread. What are we talking about? I'm not gonna lie, Chathu. Glasses was yapping for a little bit too long. I think somebody at some point should have cut in, but it's okay. It's not my show.
Created a brand of shit he pushed back on, and that shit landed right in his little sphere.
What's the brand, El?
The brand is things that look like they're supported by hip hop but are detrimental to our community. That is exactly his brand. If it's something that looks like hip hop supports this, he wants to step in and say, no, hip hop don't support this because I'm hip hop and this is fucking up my community and I love my community. That's his brand. I'm losing the steam to take up for him because of Christian before black, but I got like this much steam left. But I do think there's an element of whataboutism when you say, well, stop talking about the shit black people doing wrong. Talk about the shit white people doing wrong.
That's not what I'm saying, El.
He did say that you should do that first, but it's, you know, it's all right.
I said that's what makes it look like branding. I'm not a
proponent of branding though. Like, if I want to get a message out in a field that's so like it's oversaturated with other people getting out negative messages, it would require branding. So I think you also kind of tying his hand behind his back because you're saying, hey, if you're trying to do some positive shit, you can't do no branding or nothing with
There's
it.
nothing wrong with doing positive shit. Nothing at all. But again, as I'm speaking with him, and we're saying I'm not a proponent of strip clubs. I'm not saying, hey, let the Magic City. That's not my business. That's them brothers in Atlanta. That's their program. That y'all can argue that out. I'm saying specifically when they're saying like, hey, man, this is the only night that they allow black people. This is a niche thing. Like they saying, there's very few times that the NBA and the NBA organization will promote black businesses. It's like Headcrack just said. It's one time they said it's a little what do you call it in the mall?
Oh, the little kiosk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
They got all of these sinful white businesses happening right in hip hop. Prize Pick is smack dead in the middle of hip hop. He's sitting down on platforms that are sponsored by Prize Pick. It's not whataboutism. It's not that. It's saying, I get it. You are a brother. But then what starts to become obvious is when he said to me,
it is kind of whataboutism. It is. Like it's kind of textbook, you know. They want to do the show in the stadium, and then people are like, I don't want that to happen. And then Glasses is literally saying, but what about all this sports betting stuff? What about the alcohol that's served here? What about, like, you're actually yapping. Doesn't make you a bad guy, you're just yapping. You've just lost the plot. It's okay.
I'm a Christian before I'm black. That's what's fucking me up because it's starting to come across that way and it becomes this. So now I'm concerned.
He thinks this is therapy. He thinks it's his own podcast at this point.
Like, damn, is your target at that point anything black and wrong or anything wrong?
Yeah, it's like, why are you just shooting at
Other than that, why are you a part of our community if you're a Christian first? That becomes your community. The Christian does not override black in hip hop.
He's going, so, brother, we heard you.
So if you're saying, if you're claiming a leader as this specific community, then you have to get further in with the people and understand what is happening. Not to say you can't be an opponent.
I want to get back to dunking on LaRussell. That's honestly what I signed up for. I don't know how we got on, what D1 is doing, and...
No, hey, I'm not going to argue that. I'm saying, Russell, and the reason I'm comparing them, these are the bells that start to go off. I'm like, huh. You know what I mean? Like, and then so I'm asking, he's like, I'm Christian before I'm black. You know what else?
Oh my God, he said it again.
They was Christian before they black?
Who?
Anton Daniels.
Uh-huh.
Who the fuck is that? You know who else said they're Christian before they're black? Some guy that we haven't mentioned the entire time we've been on this panel. Hey, bro. Hey, wrap it up.
So I'm telling you, here is a slippery slope that hip hop is on. So I'm saying, again, we are feeding people to a concept of we need positivity. Like,
see, now I'm mad because he brought it up and he didn't even explain it. Glasses is funny, bro.
I'm not disagreeing. And I think positivity or whatever is great. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. But again, your actions are starting to come
on,
across
company man.
like you're
Come on.
Christians before you're black.
Jump in.
I want to get your response to this comment right here by Chef OG Ra. He says, I wouldn't say it as such, but when LaRussell's words hit my ear, it translated to, we come from the same source, but it's our choices that define us.
He would have been better
Yeah, but he didn't say that, though.
off just saying that plainly. You do not need to triangulate some of the most heinous gangsters in our society that are lording over us at this point to do that. Like at some point, just say the thing you're trying to say. I think that you added Epstein, Trump, and Adolf for shock value.
Yes.
And that is just very clear. We can just fucking say that.
Yes.
But I think there's a myriad of ways that you as a wordsmith can say we all come from the same source, but it's our choices that define us, even if you don't just say it like that. But like, come on, guys. Like, this is just not the time. And you're talking about, an artist's role is to say what needs to be said. Blah, blah, blah. That, what you just said, does not need to be said in big 2026. Like, nobody was better off as a result of that. You were not even better off as a result of that. Everybody was like shouting out the engineer and being like, you should have listened to that nigga. But he was heavensent. right time.
Engineer, he was heavensent.
Yeah. Like BK, you just made me think of something when you said that, because you're right, they equating. We're living in a world where just this time a few months ago, they trying to compare Charlie Kirk and his neck to Martin Luther King.
Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Where are we going? Where are we going?
And
there you go. There it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As black people, we have so many greats and heroes. We have to learn how to polish our heroes and put them on the shelf to where they're not comparable. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Just because somebody opened up a community center, you can't say that they're the next Malcolm X. Nor can you say somebody like Epstein. You damn sure can't say Epstein like a Malcolm X. We have to find a way to. There's just certain people you just don't touch. You just leave them alone. Compare Hitler and Trump.
Charlie Kirk and his neck is funny. I don't know why he felt the need to say and his neck. That'd be like saying JFK and his whole ass head. They try to compare Charlie Kirk and his neck to Abe Lincoln and his hat. Hey, bro, we know. We know. It's fine.
And these people, the other people, do not compare them to these people who do these monumental things, because when the white folks do it like they did with Charlie Kirk, we gonna get mad. Nah, brother, you gonna get the same heat because our heat.
Actually, this is a really great point. It sounded funny, like the way he brought it up, but it's actually a really great point. Like, we have to hold people accountable in the same way, Because when there were certain people trying to get off takes, outrageous stuff, none of my friends, no people that we all know. When people were trying to say, like, Charlie Kirk is our MLK or whatever, it's like, Obviously, we all hate that. Like, that's stupid. It's not arguable. So, in the same sense, when LaRussell tries to put Malcolm X and Adolf Hitler in the same sentence, we, as black people, or as fans of LaRussell, should also come out and be like, that shit was dumb, your shit is dumb. This is actually a great point. Good on this dude. I wish they had their names up.
Heroes are our heroes, and whether you white or you black, and you put some degenerate with them, you're gonna have to get the smoke.
Well, there's a lot of villains in this story too. Like, you also got to blame the media for celebrating the the buzz that comes from putting these shocking stories on the front page, right? And then also, people didn't really have as much to say about LaRussell before this situation. And you got to also look very closely how people start moving differently once they align with certain people and organizations. I'll leave that to y'all to throw the names out there. When you understand how high the ladder goes and how many people be connected to other people throughout industries, and how palms agrees to like help people nudge certain agendas across, or like, hey, say the thing for us. You know what I mean? We'll make sure you get this this package that you need so you can go do the thing you're trying to do.
I kind of want to see them talk about Jack Harlow. I think we kind of get the LaRussell thing. I think that, with all due respect, they are kind of dragging it. I get that that's the point, though, but it's fine. It's not fun anymore. We get it. Does everybody know what happened with the Jack Harlow thing? Are we over that? Is that already gone? I wanted to see these people's takes on it because I wanted to know if there's anything that I missed. And they probably have a lot more energy talking because it was way earlier in the show. I think I have it queued up. I think I have also the full context of the clip. Shout out Charlie Kirk Franklin. Let me see. If y'all got time. I assume you got time. If y'all are curious about it. Oh, they open up the show with this. Yeah, this is like 7 minutes into Culture United. We'll probably do this and then we'll get out of here. I should probably hit that do I got time? Might hit that hard part 3 today. We'll see.
I'm saying you didn't retreat into a whiter genre. In fact, you arguably went deeper into
I got black music.
There's no reason for him to say that. There's no reason for him to say that. It wasn't set up. I don't think it was scripted. But I'm really curious to see what these people's take on it is.
You arguably went deeper into
I got black music. Yeah.
Deeper into. I'm saying you didn't retreat into a whiter genre. In fact, you.
So that was the quote that went really, really viral today. I would start with you, Head Crack. What was your reaction when you saw how black Jack Harlow has gotten?
If you leave somebody's mic on long enough, they'll go from being right to wrong real strong, right?
I'm sorry, that's so funny. That's actually so funny considering what we just saw with glasses. If you leave somebody's mic on long enough, they'll go from right to wrong. That's hilarious. Everybody should remember that.
And, a lot of times we side-eye people that come into the culture because, are they really with us, or do they do a Anakin-level heel turn like Kid Rock, right?
Anakin-level heel turn? This guy's funny. I like this.
Who can relate? Woo!
We used to be signed to Jive. Used to tour with Too Short. So Jack Harlow, when he first came out, he was on the grind in the trenches here in Atlanta, doing all the underground spots, department store, things like that. When things were going on in Louisville, Kentucky, he was on the front lines, protesting, doing the things before he was really popping, right?
I didn't even know that.
So I'm like, okay. You I believe you with us. And come on, bro. Like he got baited into a bad conversation. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, I don't think this one moment should.
Did he? Did he though? Did he get baited? I think it's pretty easy to not say I got blacker. I don't know.
Completely besmirch the work and equity that he put in, ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get a chance to listen to the album because
I just realized we've been listening to this on normal speed, and I'm so sorry. It's on time and a quarter now. That's on me.
I'd rather listen to the internet. the group and the actual internet because I like raps and I didn't sign up to hear a crooner. You know what I mean?
Also a great point. A lot of people aren't going to listen to the Jack Harlow album, not just because it's bad and they've been hearing that it's bad, but like I genuinely did not want to hear that from him. If Jack Harlow dropped a rap album, I'd be like, oh, I wonder what Jack Harlow's up to. I want to like, you know, compare this to other projects, other rap projects, you know. He's got a big backing. I'm curious. But nobody asked for this.
And so with that being said, just sometimes you got to, you know, keep your 30 seconds and keep it rocking.
I'm with that. 1 second applause. I've seen a lot of people say that they felt like the two interviewers, John Carmonic, and I can't remember the other guy's name. I mess his name up all the time. Set him up. You know, they felt like they pushed him in that direction. I wonder how Jack Harlow could feel.
Did they push him in that direction? I don't know. I don't even think they're going that hard on him, but like I also feel like Jack Harlow shouldn't be canceled over saying I got blacker. It is embarrassing and it's ridiculous, and I think it's indicative of, you know, a slightly larger problem. But I also don't like the idea that, you know, I mean, he got baited. What do you want him to do? All you have to do is not say I got blacker, if I'm being real.
As if he could roll out this project or even do an interview at all and expect to avoid that question. You know what I mean? To me, like that's the first thing anybody should ask. Yo, why are you dressing up like Music Soul Child? Like that would be something I think people should ask about. BK, what was your reaction to this?
I mean, yeah, it definitely took me off guard. And, you know, I know people were kind of shooting him bail, like maybe that's not what he meant, whatever. Regardless, that's what he said, and that's what we're working on. I think the notion that the journalist set him up, you can look at it that way, or you can look at it as them doing their job. I'm surprised they actually asked this question, and I think it's a weird situation because both of them are white. Both of the co-hosts are white, and then Jack's white, and they're like,
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad she mentioned that. It's so weird that everybody in the room is white, talking about moving away from a white genre into, you know, I feel like a black person should have been involved.
Having this conversation about race and about, you know, privilege and the ability to pivot and genre bend, and the fact that we could take a Jack Harlow seriously, going from all rap to this like R&B project, and a black rapper would not be able to have that same grace. I think they mentioned that even in the interview of like,
yeah, I don't think the interviewer was actually doing anything nefarious. Like they seem like chill dudes. And he was more thoughtful than Jack. It sounded like he was trying to be careful with the question and how he worded it, and then Jack just jumped out the window.
People would just kind of look at it as a one-off and not really take it seriously. And
this is what I'm saying.
I think the more interesting part for me was him saying he's hyper aware of the politics around the industry, but then says something like, I'm blacker.
Yeah, that is incredibly ironic. I'm pretty sure I got the full clip right here. In case anybody hasn't seen it in all of its glory. The company man, all due respect, showed the 9-second clip, which I think is both not, you know, it could be more charitable, but it also doesn't really matter because, like, he said what he said.
I'm saying you didn't retreat into a whiter genre. In fact, you arguably went deeper into
I got blacker.
black music.
Yeah. The guy was just going to say black music, and Jack is the one that blurted out, I got blacker, which is just unnecessary, but you know, what do you expect actually?
Deeper into blackness. So was that conscious? Was that a little twist on the typical move that white rappers make, which is to retreat back into traditionally white sounds?
It certainly made what I already...
This is the best possible analogy for this. It's like on a game show when people hit the buzzer and give the wrong answer before the question's even finished. That's literally exactly what happened. Before the question's even finished, he's like, let me say some dumb shit before you even finish.
He wanted to do even more appealing. Absolutely.
Because you like pushing that boundary, that line?
I think I love black music. I love the sound of black.
Yeah, we know.
Who among us?
Yeah, I love the sound of black music.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm hyper aware of the politics of today. That safer landing spot that a lot of...
I'm hyper aware of the politics today. That safe landing spot. I got blacker. All right, dog. Okay. I think this is where the phrase playing in our faces comes from.
My white contemporaries have found. And of course, it appealed to me to do something that I felt like at a time when there's plenty of people expecting me to take some of the routes y'all are taking.
Yep.
To take the route that not only might not be expected, but is also the one I genuinely want to take. So all the stars aligned in that way for me, to be honest. I'm not gonna pretend like what you're talking about. I was like, I guess you're right. I knew that there were multiple things appealing about this route, but I also came to the decision, I'm proud to say, off of what feels good in my ear. I love.
Well, what feels good in your ear isn't quite what feels good in everybody that listen to the albums here, but okay.
I love R&B music. I love the sound of soft, intimate, melodic music. So
yeah,
I want to be understood. I want to write melodies that invite people to sing along.
I'm saying you didn't.
Yeah. I didn't find the melodies inviting people to sing along really much at all. That's not really the vibe that I got from the album that I would say I unfortunately listened to. Actually, I will say that because I'm not better for having heard the album, if I'm being all the way for real. I'm better for the knowledge that I gained about the quality of the album. But did it brighten my day? I wouldn't say so.
Or when the interviewer is like, well, you know, true or false, white rappers have an easier time pivoting. He's like, I'd have to think about that. Like, that doesn't sound like someone that's hyper aware of the politics or the optics. And I just kind of felt like, you know, maybe he got too comfortable. I'm not trying to discount anything that he did before, but it's just like,
he got too comfortable.
It felt like there was a little bit of lighthearted, like he tried to kind of joke about it. And it's like, that's not funny. It feels like you're playing in people's faces. The album title Monica, my nigga, if we're really getting into the Dr. Umar, whatever. It's just like, I just feel like you're playing a.
Chathu, do we think that the title of Black Jack's album, Monica, was a play on my N-word? Do we think that was intentional? Do we think that he was being a bit tongue-in-cheek in there? To me, it feels like everybody's on one end of the spectrum or the other. You know, it's either like y'all are reaching, it's not that deep, or he just wanted to say nigga, but he couldn't, and he's playing in y'all's faces. Like, I don't know. My black people, please chime in. Everybody chime in. I'm curious. It is. I mean, if it wasn't meant to be that, then I think it's a really interesting coincidence, you know? A unfortunate coincidence, actually. Just considering the person that we're talking about. Because what's so interesting about this is if Justin Bieber like named album Monica, or I'm trying to think of like some other white artist, like if Mac Miller named album Monica, I feel like we wouldn't even be asking that question. But something about Charlie Kirk Franklin, something about Killer Milk, like it's just, I wouldn't put it past him, is all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna come out and be like, yeah, he definitely was joking on black people saying my nigga, but you know, I could go either way on it. He would obviously never admit it.
Brown, you're dressing yourself up in this costume. There's modern black artists that are making R&B right now that are not dressed like that do not have to subsume a costume in order to put out good stuff. And I did listen to the project, and it wasn't good. It was sleepy. It was soulless. I didn't understand his creative point of view.
BK knows so much ball.
Other than this Kango hat is cool, and I've just watched Love Jones, and so that's cool. Like that's what that gave to me. So
you appreciate the Cartiers? The Cartiers?
No, no. It just felt really gimmicky. That's how I've always felt about Jack Harlow. Not to say that I just think he's just this delicious figure, but what's poppin'? I mean, come on, like the kind of black scent, like come on. I don't know. I just always felt like he was really gimmicky in this kind of.
I completely forgot what that song sounds like. When you hear what's poppin', like this is very clearly coded to a certain group of people. Totally forgot what this sounds like. What's poppin' featuring all these black people. That's funny. It's Jack Harlow, Tory Lanez, DaBaby, Lil Wayne. Y'all remember when DaBaby was on a crazy run? Funny to say the word penis in a rap song. That's the most Jack Harlow shit ever. It's so weird to invite DaBaby, Tory Lanez, and Lil Wayne on a remix and then rewrite a verse so you can say, I'm gonna give her that penis. So weird ass dude, man. He definitely sounds better rapping. He definitely sounds better rapping. I feel like it could also just be like one of those situations where he knows that it'll get people talking. Dude, it's just lame. Once a lame, always a lame. Honestly, I think the Monica thing was intentional. Either he thought people would think it's cute and funny, or it was rage bait for engagement. I don't know. It could just be both. He could both like the name and also know that, like, rage bait, you know?
Kind of follows that pattern as well.
1 second applause. I mean, you know,
that is not a ghostwriter. That's absolutely Jack Harlow.
It's one thing. If you're going to pivot to R&B, all that's cool. You're going to pivot and start making neo soul. I'm not someone who tries to suppress people's artistic ambitions.
Right.
That's just not, it's not a reflex that I have. But the costume, though, the costume is what made it corny to me. Like he legit went and got an outfit as if Bush just stole an election, as if 9/11 just happened, you know? And from a fashion standpoint,
there's no way the company man's coming up with this stuff off the cuff. It's too funny. He said he went and got a costume. Like Bush just stole the election. Like 9/11 just happened. What? This man's a comedic genius. He said you're playing dress up. It's weird.
Well, I guess he's on time. You know, everything goes in 20-year cycles. But I honestly think there might be a generation of people who will associate neo soul and R&B to Jack Harlow. I think
he's trolling. He doesn't mean that.
There's some people in Gen Z and Gen A who this might be their first peek into one of the richest art forms I can think of, period.
That is such a disgusting thought. I hope that's not true. Imagine your first introduction to R&B is Jack Harlow. Ugh.
Jack Harlow is sitting over there with a Kango hat talking to Joe and John about his privilege. Am I thinking about this wrong, Elle? Is there anything else that I'm missing when it comes to this?
No, I don't think you're thinking about it wrong. I think people have a right to have their knee-jerk reactions. My knee-jerk reaction is yuck.
Valid.
But I'm not in Jack Harlow's target audience at all. I was never going to listen to it anyway. I don't like the Whips and Chains song. I'm already so far.
The Whips and Chains song? Chathu, could you give me some context? Actually, wait. I think I know what she's talking about. I think that was on Drake's verse on Churchill Downs. Why is Drake always rapping about slaves? Dude's a freak, man.
Arm's length away that
Oh, the I'm Vanilla Baby one? Oh, was that the song? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So it's not Churchill Downs. What was that called? Was that First Class? It's so funny because Jack Harlow could just make like pop rap hits. And I do think it's a little ambitious for him to stop doing that. That song was so ass. Wait, no. No, it was Lovin' on Me, wasn't it? I don't remember. Who cares?
I'm gonna listen anyway, if I'm being honest. And now I really think the outrage, because I'm always gonna talk about the marketing, I'm always gonna talk about the rollout. I think the outrage is pushing him so far forward. I would bet my bottom dollar that the label does not feel like, oh no, we've offended the Black community. I guarantee. Well, I don't know, but I guarantee they're excited. They
don't care. The label does not care if Jack Harlow offends Black people.
Like, oh shit, yes, you done gone viral. You go get more eyes on you, more spin. So I think it's annoying. But I think there's a lot of people that's annoying and they get it ignored. So I'm more bothered by you annoying and you've gotten our attention. So
that's a great take. You know, there's a lot of annoying people out here, but not all of them get this type of attention. And frankly, I find that the most annoying part of this. Jack Harlow was getting a lot of free press off this. And it's probably going to trick people into being curious about his new album. And I am here telling you, which I normally don't do, to not go listen to the album. It's just not good. It's not worth your time. Don't even get curious. Don't do it.
That's my thoughts.
1 second applause. This is probably the most organic virality attention that Jack Harlow may have ever gotten. What's Poppin's a big song.
Him accidentally calling him John is a roast in itself.
That Randy thing was a big thing too, but this feels bigger. I mean, I haven't seen Black Twitter be Black Twitter since the Montgomery boat situation. You know what I'm saying? so he got. I feel like he brought people over from Threads and Blue Sky and brought them back over here just to jump on Jack Harlow. You know, but the numbers. I mean, predictions. We're still waiting to see what the numbers will be for the first week, but predictions are pretty low. You know, they're talking.
I saw like 22, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing about this. How many people know an album's title before it comes out? Did no one clock the Monica problem, or did just no one tell them? I think that it's possible that the people around him genuinely didn't think about it or don't care before it came out. I also think that the promotion for this album was so bad. Like, I've been curious about the progression of Jack Harlow's career because I'm just fascinated with the phenomenon of the white rapper arc in general. So, like, I'm just invested in what comes of it because after Eminem and Mac Miller and LP, there's no one. So I am invested in Jack Harlow's career sheerly out of curiosity because like nobody is doing it well. And it sounds like he's not going to make it either.
Less than 26 is what I saw.
Like, so I can't wait to see how that works because all of the people who are like, I listened to it and it was trash. It's like, well, it should be higher than 26 if all you people listened to it and it was trash. So,
well, I mean, that's how little a listen is worth.
I can't wait to see how this goes.
Yeah.
Did you make it past
These aren't the white rappers you're looking for.
the 15 to 35 second mark that matters for it to register all the things? Because, like, you know, as soon as I hear some off notes or like a beat that I can't like really nod my head on the 1 and the 2, I'm out.
Yeah. No.
Also, I don't know
I'm gonna listen.
I don't
We'll
know if you listen on YouTube or not. That's where I listen to it. So I don't know if that's counted into the.
It is.
I don't know how the streams are counted, but that's how I listen.
Well, it's not counted to Billboard, but you know, it counts into the revenue. So we'll see. But I mean, look, my problem with this album, Monica, is
bruh. Just as funny.
He
bro.
says the N-word 37 times.
Jack Harlow. Like Jack Harlow is he's not a strong vocalist. He is not someone who reverberates passion when you hear him hold a note.
No
you know,
passion.
I feel like
No soul.
his version of Neo Soul is flat. You know, I think he has this idea that Neo Soul doesn't have its, you know, sweaty, sexy moments because there's not a whole lot of sweaty, sexy that's going on in this.
He tried
but from a composition standpoint, it's solid to me. And I think that's because he brought in a lot of people who know how to do this. You know what I mean? He worked with Robert Glasper on this. He's got
A$AP Rock, yeah.
Raven Lene on here. He's got people who know what this is supposed to sound like. And so at the foundation of it is a solid instrumental album. He told a story on the podcast interview about how
I would hate to be somebody that like the company man low-key hates because he's always hitting people with like these small little subtle jabs and they happen so fast you can miss them. Like he just very casually referred to this album as like a good instrumental album, which is hilarious because it is. Like it would be a great instrumental album, but unfortunately Jack Harlow's on it.
they were begging him to put some bars on it. I think he should have listened to him. But Dwan, I don't know if you heard this album yet or if you pay attention to the conversation, but from a sonic standpoint, what was your take?
Man, he sounded like Con B. You know? It was so flat, and I know my guy Robert Glasper was on it, but that's an old school thing. They win because they always get the budget. Black music, especially R&B, soul, neo soul, requires budget, requires strings, it requires vocal tuning, it requires live bands, it requires a lot of elements. You know what I mean? And that they get the funding to get that our artists don't necessarily get to put on our albums. But when I heard the interview, when I heard the snippets, I covered it on my show the day after it happened. I went into talking about him, but what I really heard was that conversation wasn't for us as Black people. I
mean, clearly not.
That's a conversation we got to listen to get a peer into their world, because music is race music to them. They see race when it comes to music. That's not nothing that we brought into it. It used to just be all Black music, from jazz to blues to country was race music at one point. There was no subdivisions up until the 40s, other than race music. So for them, that's been a game that they played for a long time. Let's come play in the Black world for a little bit, dominate it, because I know I'm going to get the budget, I'm going to get the marketing, I'm going to get the backing, and I can do more in their music than they can. Let's go around and slum with the Negroes for a little bit, and then we're going to come back and bring it back to our people. We can go back.
Oh, my goodness.
We can go back and see that with the Beatles. This is nothing new.
Oh, my God. He said go slum with the Negroes. Oh, my word. I never really thought about it that way, but I don't think it's gonna work though. And the main reason it's not gonna work is the most obvious reason. Is because the music's not good enough. Like, Eminem was positioned in like a great way. Because regardless of how you felt about even the content of his music, like he was actually just so good at rapping that it didn't matter how you personally felt about him. Also, he was cool with the homies. And he got the appropriate cosigns. Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, etc. You know? Like, if Dr. Dre says you're cool in the early 2000s, like you're probably straight. Like, it's fine. But also what's most important is like Jack Harlow, again, he could probably get all this weird shit off if the music was good, but I try not to use this word, but I think it is objectively pretty boring. It's boring.
The Beatles were broken by a black-owned record label out of Chicago, covering an Isley Brothers song. And let's start black, but then when we end, we're gonna end that Sgt. Pepper. We're gonna go back white. That's been a constant game that's going on. The Rolling Stones wanted to sound like Chess Records, then they go into being white. They always, it's not that's a long-standing game. And if you stay black too long, Michael McDonald, if you stay black too long, Boz Scaggs, and certain ones, we may not welcome you back. And that's been the game in their music world for a long time. Sound black, because if you can sound black to a white person, that's legitimacy. Once you establish yourself, and once you've been accepted by the Negroes, now come back home, take a little bit of that seasoning off, and make some of this unseasoned music that we like. So I saw that as a conversation that happens all the time within white music. White music loves to dibble dabble in what we do and then come back and be white. Now the whole part about what he said, I went blacker, that was really a slip. That was some real stuff, because in his mind, he probably do, like a lot of them, they have this cultural confusion that we don't talk about enough as black people. They have a major cultural confusion between their white ethnicity, their whiteness in America, and their love for black culture.
He's kind of going crazy right now. He's kind of cooking. It's funny because, like, I think Jack Harlow said it to be funny, but I also, at the same time, think that he truly thinks that, in a sense, he did get blacker. And, buddy, that's just not how that works, you know? Eminem's the GOAT white rapper. Most black people, if they're being honest, can't help but acknowledge the talent. But Eminem is still 100% white. It doesn't matter. Most people understand that, but Jack Harlow's out here playing games.
There's always this thing going on. And when they lean into it, they can see themselves as that for a while. So I saw that as, man, maybe this dude has been in the black side for so long, maybe he's starting to think that's what he is. Only time will tell. But we see by what y'all was saying earlier, the record sales and everything, he might be dibble-dabbling on his black side too long. Then white folks want him to come home.
One second clause. I mean,
the white folks wanted to come home. That's really funny because he has an album called Come Home, The Kids Miss You. His next album's going to be like, Come Home, the white people miss you. Your white rap fans miss you. I feel like I can respect it in the sense that it's possible that Jack Harlow knows that this isn't going to hit for everybody, but he doesn't care and he really is just that into the art. Fine. Good for you. But if he does care about, like, the success and people liking it, then I think he's pretty misguided to think that he can carry an R&B album on his own like he's Neo or some shit.
I don't know who this album is for. I don't know that many people. With the audience he's cultivated, none of them strike me as people who are also R&B fans. R&B fans know what R&B sound like. Neo Soul fans know what Neo Soul sound like. Soul fans know what Soul sound like. It don't sound like Jack Harlow. I'm not sure how many people are going to pivot because Jack Harlow is their favorite artist. How many super fans there are of Jack Harlow, I'm not even sure. So whereas when I see this,
the only Jack Harlow super fans are women. That's a fact. No research needed.
With Post Malone, for example, well, he's going over to places where there's a whole bunch of white people already, right? And so he's going over to rock and country, and so that to me always felt I could see the strategic play in it.
But it also works because Post Malone is, again, like, the quality of the music matters greatly, you know. White women specifically. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I should have made that clear. The only Jack Harlow super fans are white women, just to be clear. Post Malone stuff sounds nice, though, after the pivot. But, you know, it's just, Like he probably always had that in him, you know. Post Malone kind of is the poster child, him and Lil Dicky in a different way. I'm going to talk about that at length at some point. Lil Dicky not only used rap to start his TV career and whatever he's calling his podcast over on his YouTube channel, not only did he use that, like he's open about the fact that like, I am going to take advantage of my ties and connections in rap in order to be a TV star, become a millionaire, hang out with celebrities and stuff. Like, he's open about it, which I think is why people don't hate him as much, even though maybe they should. Nobody has more clearly and blatantly capitalized off of black music and culture like Lil Dicky. He literally put out an album called Professional Rapper and got a co-sign from Snoop Dogg. And he was just playing around being a rapper. And the only reason it worked for Lil Dicky is because, again, technically, he's good at rapping. Like, if you go watch a Lil Dicky freestyle on Sway in the morning, you're going to be like, damn. He's got some bars. But he doesn't really love it, though. And what's annoying is, for the longest time, and still to this day, he'll claim that he loves it. It's gross. That's probably worse than what Jack Harlow's doing, to be real.
But you pointed that out really well, Dwan. It's like, dang, dog.
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. The sad part is he's good at rapping.
How's it going to be when you try to go home?
Yeah, but also maybe what he sees, because when I'm really into that circuit right there around the country at shows. This the quote unquote neo soul. Hate that term, but the quote unquote neo soul has a major Asian fan base, a major Latin fan base too, and it's a major subculture in Japan going on right now. It's a major subculture within Mexican culture here in LA. My sister's a teacher in middle school, and she talks about how she had a lot of those girls thinking that they Jill Scott 2001. You know, because that's what they grew up on. There's the major subculture with the quote unquote neo soul sound. So maybe he thought he was going to go there, but if you're going to go there and be white, you got to at least be good like Moonchild.
Yeah, that's my main point. You just got to be good. I enjoyed Lil Dicky on Just a Little Thick. Oh my goodness. I totally forgot about that song. Yeah, that was a while ago. This song is nasty.
That was at least good. Hiatus Coyote, they're good. You know what I mean? That's so
whoa!
Even if you're white.
Hiatus Coyote mentioned, hey, this man knows ball. What?
You can do it, but you got to be good. He sounded like he was humping and moaning. What the fuck was that?
You know, but the wild component though, bro, is like, you know, like remember when Kanye came out with 808s and Heartbreaks, and we're like, yo, what the hell is going on here? Because like the ears weren't 100% adjusted.
Nah, y'all are tripping. I knew 808s and Heartbreaks was great instantly. It came out when I was a kid. That amazing song was on 2K. Don't play. Obviously, Kanye sucked in the past year, but I'm one of those people that would never lie about the music. But maybe he's right. Maybe people didn't get it.
What he was doing, because like I didn't even listen to that album in the very beginning, and then like songs started latching on to me as I got used to the tonality. Once again, I'm still speaking from a space of a person who has not heard this new album from beginning to end, and I don't know if it would have been better received if he took the best of both worlds approach and did it with Robin Thicke or John B. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of like, you know,
what the hell happened to Robin Thicke?
Trojan horse the energy into it and whatnot, but everything gave the point that you hit with Post Malone, he went ultra white. I don't think he coming back. I don't think we're not getting a White Iverson ever again. I think he told you what it was on the first song. I'm White Iverson. I'm out. Right. You know what I'm saying?
He said I'm never coming back. Post Malone is making such a crazy bag though, and he is like the face of like a cool, hip, like white country dude sponsored by Bud Light or whatever. There's no reason for him to come back.
And for Jack Harlow to still be like trying to be with the rapidy rap stuff, you know, to a point, and then making music that would make him suitable for Essence Fest, it's a risk for artists who like, you know, of that approach, and it may pay off. It sounds like we're not rocking with it, and you know, and maybe next he'll go back to rapping, but like it's really a turncoat moment if he goes country on the next album.
Never mind. I was about to say if Jack Harlow goes country on the next album, somebody needs to do a wellness check on him.
And see, like even Posty was singing on White Iverson. Like he came to us singing, like there was a little bit of the melodic rap, but like when I heard his first like folk, whatever, I was like, okay, I could hear that roux that he was working on in the beginning. With Jack, it's like, I'm vanilla baby to whatever I want to be that fence post. Like and it wasn't good. Like to Duan's point, like people don't.
He did say, I want to be that fence post or lamp post or whatever. That was one of the bars from the, if it's R&B, do you still call them bars? I don't care. That's one of the lines from the song. He was like, you're leaning on a lamp post. I want to be the lamp post. I want to be the handrail that your hands are on. Ooh, brother.
I feel like people don't really care if you're white or not, or if you do heinous things or not. Just look at Ye. Like, if the music is good, if it slaps,
yeah,
people don't care.
Yeah.
And like, it wouldn't be this much of like outrage.
Yeah. Drake kissed a 17-year-old on the mouth when he was like early mid-20s. But people love the music, so they're gonna listen to it anyways. You know,
like there was so much more time we could spend on the costume and the I got blacker, blah blah blah, because the music was not filling in the blanks. It wasn't good enough to like cover up just how bad he was playing in our faces. I feel like. So I don't know if he needed to, because like Justin Timberlake, Robin Thicke, but Adele, like Bobby Call, like there's so many people within the space that have contributed that were like, okay, no, that song is hard as fuck, but.
Justin Timberlake is fire, and I also think somebody's got an ice cream truck in the background of their setup, which is hilarious. But yeah, Justin Timberlake was always fire. He's got some borderline classics. What's that track he linked up with Jay-Z? Long as I got my suit and tie, that shit was fire. Woo, that shit was heat. Yeah. Jack Harlow's not touching that.
I just didn't get that from this.
I want to introduce our 6 panelists. I guess, 6 panelists. There it is. No slow count there. I was in a.
He's introducing the panelists 25 minutes in. This is so funny.
Haze of Harlow. But I'm back now. The one and only Glasses Low. Now second applause.
Hey man. Thank you.
Hey,
Man,
Glasses.
Hey now.
Man, thank you for joining us again as always, brother.
My bad on the timing. Forgive me.
Nah, you're good. You made it. Now we're talking about Jack Harlow. He put out his new album, Monica, and it's not getting rave reviews. People are not rocking with this project. But they are dropping some of the most hilarious memes ever. Have you been paying attention to this conversation, and what's your reaction to Jack Harlow?
Yeah. When it started, Saturday, I did a podcast with Trap, who co-hosts No Ceilings, and he kind of preempted me for the conversation, told me they had Jack Harlow had an album out, and he had this this interview where he was saying, I got blacker.
He's so late.
So that's kind of the depth of all I knew, right? So we talk about it. I see the interview. I'm like, like, this white man talking about he got blacker. I can't see it.
Who can relate? Woo!
Sunday passes. Monday, everybody's pressuring me to deal with it. So now I'm starting to dive into what's happening. And I see the album title, Monica. I happen to have white friends, so I heard that joke, a few years ago, right?
It feels like everybody knows. People keep saying they know the joke. Every time I hear somebody say it, the more I'm like, are we gonna act like Jack Harlow doesn't know the joke? This funny white dude that hangs out with Drewski all the time, we're gonna act like he doesn't know the joke. Whatever.
Where it's the thing. So now I'm looking at that. Then I'm thinking about I got blacker, and then I'm talking to Trap on.
This is a great point. I haven't seen anybody that unironically is like, that new Jack Harlow actually hits. You're all wrong. Somebody please find that person and send that video, send that review to me, because what is there to like besides the instrumentals?
Lunch hour, and I look at the Spotify picture, and it's full out blackface. And I'm telling Coach, and
wait, what's up? What happened?
Blacker, and then I'm talking to Trap on lunch hour, and I look at the Spotify picture, and it's full out blackface. And I'm telling Coach, and I'm telling Trap, I'm like, man, how did y'all listen to this music once y'all saw this?
What is Glasses talking about?
How did you get to the music? Like, what are we talking about if the music is good or bad? Like, we should be down there talking about stringing this motherfucker up. Like, this is a problem. And end up being this big drag out argument. And it take everybody a little time to get to what I'm saying.
Who was in blackface?
I guess there's no reason for me to listen to the album. You know what I'm saying? Like, You don't have to wear a knitted cap to make R&B, to attempt to make soul. You could have used any one of your first 3 album covers.
The slander is unnecessary, you know. It's fine to hate on Jack Harlow. It's fine to say that he's wearing a costume and he's saying out of pocket stuff, but you know, when people talk about slander, this is actually slander. I don't think he did blackface. I don't think that's what he did, but okay. All right. We need a fact check on that.
You didn't have to tint the filter and use to make your skin darker. You don't have to wear buffs. You don't have to tuck in the hair that obviously makes.
Is that what he's saying? I feel like I would have heard somebody else mention that, you know? See, I care about this. I care about making sure things are right. You know, if we're going to hate on somebody, fine. But let's hate for the right reason, you know? Let me pull this up. Is that? Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. Jack Harlow always looks like that. But all right, man. Anyway,
It makes you exactly who you are. It could have been the same album cover as your first album cover, and you could have just came out and did that music. And I'm just expressing to the homie.
I genuinely don't know what album cover he's. I'm sorry, I'm getting caught up on this, but I'm just baffled by that. I don't know why he said that.
I'm like, bro, it's blackface. Like, you know what I mean? It's no doubt that's what's happening. And, you know, for people to kind of look past it and make a million other reasons as if, like, this is what being an R&B, like, you could wear any outfit and sing R&B. You could wear a basketball jersey and make great R&B. You could have a suit. So if you say he's looking at somebody who's like, well, you know, well, that's black. That's exactly what a minstrel actor thought they was doing.
Is he saying that he's dressing like a black person? Like, is that what he's trying to get off? I think that we're just using the phrase blackface too liberally. Drake did blackface. The cover art of the story of Adidon is blackface. He's yapping.
This is their caricature version of how we act, our behavior. That's the same thing for him. It's like, oh, you know, when the black people sing, they wear knitted caps and they put buffs on them, you know, and like they look like this and they're walking through the. It's like, bro, just put the fucking record out. It'd have been just fine. But now it puts us in a position where, like, I'm past the memes. I don't think this shit funny. I don't think this shit cool.
Oh,
I heard
he does not. He's dead ass serious. Somebody showed him the wrong album cover, I think, which is funny. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know Glasses. I don't have any beef with him. It's not that big of a deal. We're just here to have fun. But the idea that before he heard anything about Jack Harlow and the latest controversy, somebody showed him an album cover with Jack Harlow in blackface, and he's actually furious about it, that's fucking funny. Like, if he genuinely thinks he did that, that's hilarious. But I don't think that's the case. I think it's more likely that he's trying to get a point off that, like, what Jack Harlow's doing is the equivalent of blackface, which it's not. But whatever, man. Welcome to the show.
New York Times or Variety compared this, said it was like voodoo. And I'm like, cousin, everybody sitting around this motherfucker thinking it's a time to talk about if the album good. Fuck, cuz. Hell, we talk like, I don't know when did I become Malcolm X, because I swear to God I'm not. But it's like right in my face.
1 second applause.
Is somebody on the panel going to mention the fact that, like, never mind.
Whatever. I mean, I didn't see the New York Times or whoever compared it to voodoo, and they should punch themselves in the face immediately, because that's
tomato.
You know, but you know, what do you guys have any reaction to what Glass had to say?
Somebody.
Yeah, I saw Glass's show yesterday when they was doing it. It was it was one of those situations where you don't even need to listen to it. Personally, I listened to it live on my show when I listened, because I just saw that it dropped. I did a live reaction to it. But when you see the character, when you go back and look at how even blackface started, you know what I mean? When you go back and look into all the music, it's always an imitation of us, and it's old. Like, if you go back to the roots of country music, the father of country music is D4 Baby, and
he's throwing him a line, I guess. He's going along with it. Whatever. I think it's important to be, like, you know, very, very specific and honest about our criticisms of people instead of just, you know, using specific language. But whatever, man. I think I don't think we should say that somebody is doing blackface when they're not. Like, I don't think that's good, you know, but it's not my show.
When the white people got into it, what the Carters would do, Maybelle Carter, AP Carter, what they would do, and they kind of alluded to them on Sinners.
Because also, this dude, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be getting caught up on this, but whatever. I don't care. It's important, actually, to be honest, when we're speaking about people that we're criticizing. Because this guy, the fact that he's going along with Glasses saying it's blackface, it makes him look silly, because it's like, why are you listening to an album if they're doing blackface on the cover? Whatever.
What they would do is they would go down to the South and buy copyrights from Southern gospel music and folk music. And then they would take it back up to New York, and Maybelle Carter, AP Carter, these are New Yorkers. These are Bostonians. These are upper Northeasterners. But what they did when they came into doing country, they put on the overalls, they put on the straw hat, and they made themselves a caricature of what everyone knew that was black music. So that was them making the caricature of that. And that's actually the start of country, going back into what we were talking about, Jack Harlow with him staying black. That goes back to literally the first days of country music. They've always done that. And it's just an act that's about 100 years old now. It's just that it's tired, you know, and it goes before that. But I mean, just on wax, 100 years old. And it's the kind of thing that we shouldn't accept on any kind of level. That's the way I see it.
I appreciate the history. We might be doing a little bit too much. I'm not trying to run defense for Jack Harlow at all, but relax.
I agree with that, especially because like it's like he wanted brownie points too. Like he was like, I'm not doing like my other white contemporaries, and he thinks what he's doing in place of that is any better.
But this is a more rational discussion and take to have.
Like to Dewan Glass's point, it's like you're doing minstrelsy though. Like, would you go into a majority black space with this fucking costume on and expect
probably
to be taken seriously and defend and say I got blacker? Like, would you? But it was are we supposed to clap that you're not doing a postie? Like that you're not going to country or not? You know, and basically he was saying, I'm better. I'm a superior white to my counterparts because I'm not exploiting, you know, the genre like they did. And actually he is, and he's doing it in a way that's almost, I don't want to say more offensive, but like almost. It's really ham-fisted. It's really on the nose.
Yeah, I appreciate her saying that. Like it's almost more offensive, but it's not. You know, it's pretty on the nose. I chalk it up to language differences. People don't always do the knowledge when it comes to differentiating between these terms and their actual meanings. I think it's because I have a journalistic background, similarly to the Company Man, and sometimes like it might not seem like that big of a deal, you know, if you're trying to make an analogy or something, but if you're speaking in very definitive and literal terms like Glasses is, you can actually open yourself up to like some type of suit, you know? I'm always very clear when I'm live or when I'm doing podcasts about like what's my opinion, what I can verify, what actually happened, what somebody actually did, or I wrap it around the idea that I'm clearly entertaining or I'm clearly making a joke. Glasses seriously telling maybe 1,000 people that Jack Harlow did blackface is not a responsible thing to do. Not just for the general public, but also like for himself personally, you know? Sorry to get all like whatever on y'all, but the words that we use are important, which is exactly why like they all hated on LaRussell, you know? It's just very ironic. And that's how Glasses gets looked at crazy later, talking about the strippers in the video games with a 9-year-old. Like, that sounds crazy out of context, but if you were there, you know. I don't think it's too terribly hard to think before you speak, is all I'm going to say.
But that was something that I noticed too, was like, he's like, hey, I understand the politics of today and how I could have a soft landing place in country. Well, I mean, regardless, despite, you know, I don't know how well this album is going to sell, but the fact that he's even being taken seriously, pivoting to R&B is part and parcel of the privilege as well. So
I don't think anybody's taking him seriously.
I thought that was interesting that he was like, see, blacks, I'm not doing a posting. I'm doing R&B. Like, shouldn't I get some points for that? And it's like, no, nigga, you're actually doing something almost worse than that. So yeah, that's a great point.
It'd have been cool without the outfit.
I think that's a cool pivot that she made in the conversation.
It's like, okay, cool. You fuck with some black music. You doing some other ones. You just come out with a regular Jack Harlow album cover. Feel me? You got your locks out. You doing, bro, you tuck the locks in a knitted cap, bro. Like, why? You get what I'm saying? Like, why?
When you puzzle piece everything together, because like I didn't put together all the clues the way you guys did, and as you're presenting the evidence before I live in Atlanta, I know 3 white people, right? And so I've never
Sorry, I don't know if I've ever snorted on at work before. So I'm from Atlanta, I know 3 white people.
Presenting the evidence before I live in Atlanta. I know 3 white people, right? And so I've never heard the Monica joke. So when you broke, I'm having the same experience that my man had at the end of Usual Suspects when he was like, realized that he was talking to Kaiser Soze the whole goddamn time.
The references are on point. Spoilers for The Usual Suspects, by the way.
So that missed me, and I didn't even stare at the cover. And yeah, like to put on the neo soul outfit that you would get from a now defunct Party City to shoot the cover, I do feel the playing in our face of it all, in real time, and I feel like I have learned something too today.
I want to once again applause to learning. I want to share this other clip from the conversation because when I watched the interview, I saw the memes go crazy this weekend, and then I watched the interview after I saw the memes. And the clip alone with the I'm Blacker clip, that was one thing. When I watched the full interview, there's a couple of parts in this. I was like, oh, they should. I'm not sure they wanted.
What is the cover they are talking about? They're literally talking about the actual album cover, which, just for the sake of reference, in case anybody missed it, like, it's not. This is the album cover right here. And that's what I've been seeing leading up to its release and during and after. Like he always looks like that. He's not doing blackface. Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm being gaslit. But whatever. It's fine. I'm sure they're gonna pivot at some point. It's just an interesting thing to allow yourself to get upset about. And on the memes and stuff or whatever, Glass is like, it's not funny. I don't find anything funny about it. Whatever. He's cosplaying Common. Right. I gotcha. I think that it's actually good and healthy, the fact that people are making memes and they are clowning him in a mostly reasonable way. I'm not going to tell people that it's not that deep because I think that's, I'm not going to invalidate people's feelings, especially black people. I just think that it's good that, we're not threatening him. There's no pitchforks. Nobody's shouting for his cancellation. I think we can all just agree that it's corny, it's silly, it's weird, it's odd, I think we are making definitive statements for an album that's been out for less than a week and 100. Yeah. I'm not telling you that it's not that deep. I am just saying why it's not as deep as some of these people for me.
I was a part of it. I'm not sure they wanted to put it out, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure they absolutely wanted to put this out. I had both of them back to back, but I do want to share this.
Oh, it's about to get worse.
This clip right here. This is really where it got uncomfortable.
Oh, there's more.
Me neither. I didn't watch it.
This is where it got uncomfortable for me. And so here is
oh Lord,
that part.
Attached to an outcome. And I think that's what the album is about.
Do you guys hear the audio? Is it clear?
Yes, but everybody else has to mute so it doesn't echo.
Okay.
We're just two grown-ups talking about life. That's all we're doing. We're talking about life.
And of course you can find ego in anything, but does that sound like the most ego-driven statement to you to say, hey, let's talk about this? I'm open-minded. Point is, I'm not attached to an outcome. And I think that's what the album is about.
But also the very privilege of not being attached to an outcome. That
I didn't say I'm doing away with my privilege.
No, of course not. No, we're going to get to that part. But that in and of itself.
That might be worse. That might be worse. I haven't even seen anybody talking about that. Justin Hunt doing the work that nobody else would, actually sitting through this interview, because what do you mean? And if we're joking, what's the joke?
I think that's what the album is about.
But also the very privilege of not being attached to an outcome. That
I didn't say I'm doing away with my privilege.
No, of course not. No, we're going to get to that part. But that in and of itself is a privilege, to be able to be like, I'm not attached, to be the person who's beyond attached.
Oh yeah, but that ain't even in my top 20 privileges.
Winter.
Fuck. That's not good at all. That's not good at all. That's much worse. I didn't think it would get much worse than I Got Blacker. How? Damn. Jack Harlow, what are you doing? Joking about the privilege? It's like, do you respect the art form? Do you respect the music that you're allegedly like immersing yourself in or not? It's quite insensitive. I could see why people would find it offensive.
That ain't even in my top 20 privileges. That entire exchange.
That's ridiculous.
Watching these three guys sitting around laughing.
Watching these three milkmen. Sorry, I'm fine. It's fine.
And giggling and joking about their privilege.
Joking about the privilege is crazy. Because initially, I thought it was just going to be like, oh, the privilege of already being a successful artist and being able to survive even if an album flops, right? That's what I thought we were talking about. But then joking about how, like, that's not even my top 20 privileges. Now you being disrespectful. That's not funny. Come on. It's not nice.
And Harlow brought that into the conversation and then said that's not even my top 20 privileges.
Once again, they didn't even prompt him to take it there. He just took it there. And that is the level of comfort that he feels that he has, you know. Joking about all the privileges that he has. Yucking it up with his pale pals. All right, man. I feel like you can get this off, you know, with these dudes. But I just feel like, you know, in a room with a black woman or somebody that has experience in the R&B space, it's like you're literally saying, like, I'm just messing around with this. I'm just experimenting with it. People might not even like it, but, you know, that's the privilege that I have. I'm not worried about the outcome. Why? Why don't you care? Shouldn't you want to, like, do the people justice? It's crazy to say, I got blacker. But then to follow it up by, like, not showing respect to the people that made the way for you to even do this. It's, come on. Come on. Come on. Imagine doing the research, writing out questions, and trying to have a serious interview, and this is the outcome. Yeah. What is his list of all top 20 privileges? That's a great question.
When I saw that, changed the way I look at this. I never thought about Jack Harlow as being intentionally nefarious. I just haven't thought about Jack Harlow all that much altogether, to be honest. But that particular, those three dudes sitting there laughing about that, their privilege together.
Tomato.
Crazy. Open floor.
Ooh.
Yeah, like I just think it's an overall thing. Everyone's getting more comfortable. You know, Trump didn't just make right-wingers comfortable. He made everybody comfortable.
Oh, boy.
And now the truth is coming out. You know, Music Snow Child knows what he's talking about when he says that he has all these levels of privilege. He knows exactly what he's talking about.
Music Snow Child.
Because it's just that now everyone else is more comfortable having these conversations in open. These used to be behind closed door conversations. I remember when I played the drums professionally, I had certain white musicians that I was cool with that would tell people some of the things that they would talk about behind closed doors, you know? And so this is an old school behind closed door conversation that's now being had in front of all of us. They know they have the privilege. They know that they can go wherever they want. And
feels like the type of thing that you would cut from an interview if you're a responsible person, you know? Like, they didn't have to include that bit. I don't think it really added a lot to the conversation, but they thought it was cool. They thought it was chill.
Music and we can't. Why do they know that? Because most of their inspirations are us. And they know that it will stop for us so they can live. They are keenly aware of that. You know, so I just think it was like, hey, I'm glad y'all finally had one of them closed door conversations in front of us. You know, that's how y'all think.
Not a good look for our fellow Saltines.
Yeah, I think Stephen Wonder got too comfortable with the company that he was keeping during that time.
Stephen Wonder.
and let the reality slip. Because like, you know, people could put their representative out on Front Street for the world to see. And, you know, being a person in media covering the things I was covering during pockets of time, you know, I saw him checking all the right boxes, doing all the right things in the beginning of his career. You know, absolute power corrupts absolutely over time. And then, you know, then maybe you start to, you know, embrace the dark side a little bit more and your habits start to change. But to see them be so, it's one thing to be aware of your privilege and have enough coof about yourself to be like, yeah, I know, I know it's there, but to flaunt it. When you have people who are more qualified, more talented in the skill sets in which you're trying to wield, to flaunt it, be like, I'm not even using my top 20.
Playing in people's faces.
That becomes a little bit more problematic. And then I see the playing in your face of it all. And yeah, like if we see him at Essence Fest spitting the plate that we saved for him at the cookout.
1 second applause. Yeah, I mean, you know, we'll see where this goes. I definitely wanted to.
Cookout discourse should have died already. This might have been an FD video, but whatever that entailed previously, who's invited to the cookout, who's not, it's over with. We got to stop doing that. If we haven't already. We got to get that out of the vocab entirely. The cookout's closed.
Tackle this topic with this panel here. Any final thoughts on Jack Harlow before we move on to our next story?
Yeah, Justin, do you mind if we take some time to maybe call out our favorite latest R&B soul projects so that maybe we can actually promote some people who are kind of deserving of this level of attention?
Wow. This is using your platform responsibly. You know, it's easy to just dunk on a dude being ridiculous, but you know, what's actually more helpful is to put people on. That's nice. This is really great. I'm glad this happened.
On the tail of this, is that okay?
Fantastic idea. You want to start it off?
Yes, I want to talk about Cleo Soul's Gold. I know that's 2023. I want to talk about Leon Bridges. He has an album called Leon. I think you guys should check that out. And then also Sampha. And of course, Jill Scott.
Sampha's fire.
I hope we all have listened to Jill Scott's amazing album. And I'm interested to know what other like R&B soul projects you guys actually appreciate. Somebody deserving of, you know.
I got some. I have a contemporary soul playlist that I put together. I give all y'all. It's on my website. But I would say Terrace Martin just dropped a dope project this past week. You have Kenyon Dixon here out of LA. That he dropped something recently. Terrace Martin dropped actually a couple albums.
Terrace Martin is great. He's had a lot of collaborations with you know who. Terrace Martin's great. The Leons are great. Jill Scott, great recommendations.
That not too far ago. Brandy Younger, she plays the harp, but she has a producer style album where she gets different singers to sing while she's playing the harp. You got T Nava that dropped something recently. You got Buddy. Buddy just dropped a new project. He's somebody you want to look out for. You also want to look out for BJ Chicago Kid, Bilal. Robert Glasper just dropped a.
Ooh. Bilal, she also worked with that guy. Bilal, incredibly talented.
A dope project about 6 months ago. Charlie Burrell off Death Row Records, he just dropped something, and so it's R&B right now. Is in a really good shape. It's in really good shape by a lot of dope ass artists that are out there right now.
We didn't need them. We didn't even need it. Nobody asked. You know.
Also, Adam Blackstone. He dropped he's a bass player, but he dropped an album with a bunch of different with Jazzy Jeff, Jasmine Sutherland. Check out those albums.
1 second applause.
I also wanted to shout out the new gen. Destin Conrad's album Whimsy was really good. Now that was more like jazz. It was great. Colorway, also by Destin Conrad, was dropped in 2021. Of course, Duran Bernard's Wanderlust, I think that was 2022. And then Bloom, which dropped in 2025, which was, I think he won the Grammy for that one actually. But that's also kind of why Jack was falling flat. Almost kind of like the shift that we saw post beef within hip hop. It was like, okay, you can't just drop kind of what a lot of people were dropping in like the late 2010s, early 2020s, where you can just kind of phone it in. After the beef, that kind of felt like people's palate shifted, and it was like, okay, you're gonna have to drop some shit.
Yeah, people's bar raised a bit after that thing that happened a couple years ago. It's been almost 2 years. Wow, we got to run back all those tracks again. 2 years later.
Same thing for R&B, like to DeJuan's point. the field is so rich and ripe of like really talented, really passionate artists and projects that like we don't need a Jack Harlow. We don't need a diet watered down version of that. Like he's not even in the top. He's nowhere near what's out there right now. So, but hearing them that like white man laugh just triggers something in me. I don't know. Just that's not even the top 20 privileges.
Yeah. That was the laugh felt kind of evil. It felt like they were twirling the mustache and I would not feel safe in a place like that.
I did not see that. But that's also where I feel like it's, you know, maybe he was like, damn, if I drop something rap right now, that's not going to hit. And let me try to shift to R&B and do stuff. It didn't work either because the field is just so rich. So shout out to you, Elle, for bringing that up of like just some people who we actually want to support in place of.
Yeah. Yeah. This has been fun. This has been great. Shout out to the company, man. As per usual. How am I not subscribed? I thought I was subscribed. That's crazy. I assume that... Oh, wait. I am. Okay. Why does it say that I'm not? Oh, it's saying I can subscribe to the other people that are mentioned. Okay, I'm tripping. I was like, did I just get cooked in 4K? Yeah, when I hit the subscribe button, it says I can subscribe to one of the other people that are linked here. Cool. Well, Chathu, I feel like we learned a lot today. Thank you to everybody that tapped in. Anybody that donated anything, I appreciate your time as always. You could have been anywhere watching anything. You know, you might have already watched all of Culture United and you just wanted to see somebody react to it. Or, you know, it's possible that you'll see some of this and you're like, I want to see the rest of their conversation, and you should. So thanks for being here. I absolutely do not take it for granted. Thank you all for being nice to each other and for being nice to me. I know that you all might be familiar with some of these people and you appreciate their opinions and their perspectives. And obviously I am not going to agree with everything that all of these people say, but you know, I try to be respectful and it seems like you all are too. So I appreciate you. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I am in the middle of a series where I review all of the Heart Part tracks from Kendrick Lamar. I already did the first and the second. You can check that out on the channel. No 10-cent stream tonight, but possibly tomorrow. Tonight I'm watching The Pit with my wife on HBO Max. But yeah, love you, mean it, spread the bread, and enjoy the outro, a 10 out of 10 song by Kendrick Lamar. Good day.
This is a certified hood classic.